had a very mellow birthday. Probably the most mellow birthday I've ever had in my life. Which was interesting because I feel like, well, I mean, it's COVID, right? Like, you can't do it up.
You can't do anything. Yeah, you
can't
can't do
do
anything.
it
Still
up.
going on?
Yeah. Yeah. You can't do it up. And, like,
because we usually go have lunch.
right.
Sit
And
down at a
then
restaurant
people come over for dinner and, you know, it's like a
whole thing.
You know, and I felt weird about it, but I don't want to put people in an awkward spot. Like, you know, like I talked to Baltimore Brandon, for instance, you know, and he was like, you know, we're being safe.
Yes.
You know, like, you know, and like, so like, I don't even want to put people in that position where they got to say, yeah, you know what, dude, I'm not coming. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
So like, it was weird. But I mean, it was nice. Like, got some gifts and, you know, we had bagels. Like, I had a fresh, bagels. My wife made fresh bagels in the morning and had, I made a chicken, like a bacon, egg and cheese, like a homemade bacon, egg and cheese sandwich is my bag. Mm-hmm. I'll never get it out, but a homemade
Not
one,
even in New York City?
not even in New York City, but a homemade one, I'm in it to win it. Now I will get a sausage, egg and cheese out.
I don't trust sausage. I don't.
Oh, you're not supposed to trust sausage ever.
Well, I mean,
It's
I
fine.
don't trust sausage if I'm not going to be near my toilet. I'll say that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like
I've had.
you don't eat
yeah.
sausage and hot dogs and expect it to be something normally.
No, I'll eat. Yeah.
Scrapple.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Oh.
I eat all of it knowing what it is, but yeah.
So I'll say that, like, because I like my bacon cooked a particular way, and I don't trust other people to cook it the way I cook it.
Some old man shit.
Yeah. Well, I got old
I mean,
man.
some Bobby shit too.
You know, you know,
I got old man tendencies.
You know how my dad orders bacon?
How's that?
2 eggs over medium, crisp bacon. He puts that sauce on that pea
Oh, like,
because he don't want no sauce. He won't eat it.
Yeah.
If it comes out and you can't hold it straight.
yeah, I'm the same way.
I don't like it quite that. I like it cooked, but I don't want it crispy.
See, I can't stand it.
Like,
I don't want to be chewing on it. I want it to crunch.
Yeah, there's a balance there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris.
Yeah. So, and to each his own. I get it, but because of that, I never get it out.
So if we went to Waffle House, you wouldn't order bacon.
You wouldn't
Never.
go to Waffle House.
No, I would go to Waffle House, but I would find it challenging because here's my other issue I struggle with is syrup. A lot of those restaurants, they like water down their syrup.
Oh, not Waffle House.
Not Waffle House.
No,
Also, they heat it up for you.
Yeah.
It's nice.
yeah. So I would probably fuck with Waffle House, but like,
We need to do that one day.
yeah.
Last time I went.
Oh.
But I just can't. I can't like a lot because a lot of places make the syrup stretch. So
Yeah.
they mix it with water and they stretch the syrup for.
Which is dumb because syrup is the cheapest part of the whole goddamn
I've had
establishment.
the same hand soap dispenser in the bathroom for 4 years. I don't know. It just keeps on. I'm kidding.
I mean, I do have
I've
a
done
big
that
old,
before.
I have a big thing of soap to reload it with. I don't
Yeah.
keep buying new bottles.
Yeah.
So thrifty.
So I don't know. It was a mellow 40, and then then we were doing. I get to do a bonus music episode on my birthday and on Father's Day. It was like my little treat. So we did one of those, and
Did you measure your teeth?
I didn't. But I think they are a bit longer.
I mean, you guys are in the same club now.
due
That's
to receding gums.
Yeah.
Just a separate issue. But like, so we're in the middle of this thing, and Marilyn Phil drops by and drops off a gift. But like, I don't even answer the door because I don't hear it. I'm down here with Laura. Jaina brings it down, and it's this like hand drawn thing of my family.
Yep.
And like, I was like, well, look, where is he? And I hit him up, and he was like, I'm still around. And I was like, well, look. She was like, Laura said you were busy today. And it's like, it's not that I'm busy. It's just that I had planned on doing some things today, and like listening to Brooklyn drill music is not necessarily something I thought you'd be down for. So I don't think of you as like the first person to like come, you know what I mean, come to the party.
Who is that person?
I was going to say, who
is that person in your life?
You can't find that person.
Yeah, I don't have
Bless
that.
your wife's
Cody.
heart.
Cody is that person.
That's unacceptable, Cody. That's unacceptable.
So he was like, well, sure, I'll come back. And he sat right where you're sitting, Joe, and listened to this shit for like an hour.
Bless up.
Yeah. And then, and then we had pizza and called it a night. And
Where'd you get pizza from?
So here's the thing. I like
Sacrifices had to be made.
I like Roses on my birthday. That's my spot.
Right.
It's closed.
No shit, the one in Frederick Mall is closed?
COVID closure.
Is it permanent?
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah.
What a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
But you found another spot you like, don't you? What,
Yeah, the Manhattan one, but it's not what I wanted though.
wasn't the same?
Oh, but your handmade one.
Yeah,
I ate the whole thing by myself in one sitting
that shit-
after dinner.
that shit-
I had dinner, came outside, and he was like, "Look, here's a pizza." I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then I ate the whole fucking thing.
So that was
I know the vibes.
that was Christmas, and we'll get into that in Nerd Weeks, but like but I just wanted to cover this 40th. I got I don't know if I think that there was I wasn't depressed, I was fine, but like there was some things where I was like, man, your 40th birthday and COVID and your fucking pizza shops closed and fuck, you know what I mean? It was just like this like hit after hit after hit, and
Just straight up bummers all the way around.
yeah. But Laura came downstairs to help me in the basement with some things, like taking some shelves down. She, in a drunken stupor one night, convinced me to buy all this shit over there. So
She convinced you to buy stuff.
I'm
What,
telling
all this stuff?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They've been since bagged. But
Yeah.
we bought them brand new.
I find it questionable.
Well, so like I was saying, like, I wanted something for those shelves and I wanted those themes.
It's things you wanted to buy, waiting for an excuse to get them.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. But it was definitely. She did twist my arm. That's a fact. But I'm happy with it. And like I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the horror show.
I'm glad it's already up, so I feel comfortable saying this. That's all NECA, right? Mm-hmm. And it's all still together?
So far.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Non-durable goods.
They should make we should make something that NECA stands for that hits those parts. But I agree with you.
But I don't think you would be too upset if you have to glue those in shape.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And that's where my love for that stuff is, kind of, at the $25 price point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't $100 love it.
Yes.
I $25 love it.
Well, I guess I $100 love it, considering I bought the Basojos.
Well, no, so I'm because I $100 love women.
Okay, fair. That's what it is. What about you? $25 like it, and then $75 like women.
Yes, exactly. Actually, and they could have twisted my arm for a bit more on the woman's side of things.
Yep.
I'll start spending money stupid. Let's see what else. And then the Ghostbuster stuff, kind of the same thing. Like, I like Ghostbusters, but like I'm happy with that. I would like Rick Moranis and the secretary, and then a Vigo and the little Russian dude, and then he's my favorite character in all of Ghostbusters. Isn't it nice? It's a Vigo. But yeah, that's where my love is for Ghostbusters. And I'm happy. Like I'm finding it surprising just how much I'm enjoying these little shows. But I am. And like my wife was like, we should do something for Lord of the Rings. And I was like, no, like I like Lord of the Rings an awful lot. I like it an awful lot. But that Smeagol, I'm good.
Yeah, they don't make too many merch.
Yeah, there are the figures, but they're not great.
Yeah.
Well, there's 6-scale stuff.
Yeah,
6-scale
there's
stuff.
the old Toy Biz stuff's not bad. It really is not.
The 40K stuff is actually really good. I'm not into it, but like the miniatures are actually, they have the whole line and they all look good.
Oh yeah. I agree. But you know what I mean? I was like, I'm happy with that. So anyway, we've been gone for 2 weeks. Everybody, did you listen to the greatest hits? Or
No, not yet.
I listened
I had to
to the
long.
well, I'll tell you, it's basically 2 hours of me landing jokes on you.
I don't know if I can handle that.
It's
I should definitely not listen to it going to work. Maybe coming back from work. I don't want to go to work pissed off.
I was amazed at how much I keep laughing at some of that shit. Like one of the ones that was like my favorite one on there, I think, is when Dante says something along the lines of like, "We don't mix vanilla and chocolate in my house," and I was like, "Yeah, you do." And then like somebody said Sophie's proof, and I said Sophie's choice. Yeah. But it was good. It was a good like walk down memory lane and relive some of those moments. And I was telling Joe like that time that we were all together was like right before we all split up.
Yeah,
and like it was I'm grateful for that show. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But anyway, Chris got coffee first. Joe, how was your nerd week?
I'm almost done with Hannibal. It's 3
The
seasons.
show?
Yeah, the show.
Damn, you guys working?
I mean, it's only 3 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the second season of Titans. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, like, is Titans' second season not good?
It's not great.
Okay.
But it's not bad.
So Hannibal season 1 and 2 are really fucking good. Season 2 finale was fucking amazing. Season 3, the story plot has been good, right? The actual things that are happening are good. But I don't know if they have a different director. I didn't look it up. But like the show feels very different. Like it's shot different. Like I don't know if it's drawn out or like artsy or like convoluted. It's like they could have told this story a different way.
Yeah.
And it's the first half anyway. Now it's getting back to more linear progression. And it actually covers all of the movies, apparently, other than Silence of the Lambs. There's no Clarice in the show.
Pause real quick. I did see there is a show called Clarice coming out,
which covers the Buffalo Bill arc, I think. Because Buffalo Bill and Clarice is not in this show. But it covers Red Dragon. It covers Hannibal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like it's a retelling. It's modern, obviously. It takes time now.
I didn't realize that it was parallel.
I didn't either.
Mason Vergil's in it. Like the
really?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. Like
that sounds fucking awesome.
After he gets fucked up, like
do they go into his crimes?
A little bit.
What do they say? Because I
mean, he's just a sadist like person. He's just like the people. He likes to drink martini dipped in the tears of children, literally.
Wow.
He like tells kids fucked up things and make them cry, and then he would like pick up the little tear and then mix it in with his martini.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick shit.
Yeah. But like after he gets fucked up in spoiler, he gets fucked up. Obviously, he gets fucked up. And they go through that, like how he got there to Hannibal fucks him up, and like I don't think he's doing like a impersonation of Gary Oldman's Mason Vergil, but like it's the same character. Like,
right.
Same inflections and okay, I see what this is. But like no, it's been very interesting. Right now we're at 4 episodes out from finishing the show, and they're on the Red Dragon arc with
that's cool, man.
With that guy.
Yeah.
But no, I've been enjoying it a lot. But like, I mean, I would have been fine with it ending at season 2 too, because it's like Mandalorian. One of those things is like you in between arcs, you finish an arc, it's not a cliffhanger. You could go further, or you could just stop here and it'll be good.
Right.
So
right.
I could have done it, at the end of season 2 also. Had Christmas Day with my family and her family.
Separate or together?
Separately. Not that they don't get along. We've had dinners. It's just like we don't do artificial get-togethers, I guess. Like my parents and their parents got together once a long time ago for just to meet. Right. And since then, like they're cool. There's no problems with them, but like there's never a reason to get together.
Right.
And my parents are more disrespectful towards holidays than I am. Like, no, at least I take the day off. If I can. Right. I'm like, fucking Christmas, I don't celebrate Christmas, but it's a day off, nice. They're either still open, because they're fucking Asian. The only place you can get food from on Christmas Day is some Chinese restaurant. That's it.
I told someone that I love very much that I don't think we're allowed to say that anymore.
Since I'm sitting here, it's okay.
But I'm quoting
let me get it out of the...
I guess
okay. There you go.
But the other part that I love about that is not just that part, but it's also the...
It's smiling. It's smiling
at me, and then he like chops the fucking thing off. Yeah, it's great. Anyway,
so my dad was like, "You're not doing anything today." I'm like, "Nah." Her parents are coming back later for dinner. He's like, "Oh, come help me move." I'm like, okay.
Help me move?
Yeah, they've been downsizing, right?
Oh, okay.
So like, I ended up moving a fucking treadmill, a goddamn slot machine, which he didn't goddamn take the quarters out of first. He's like, "You're strong." I'm like, yeah.
Did you?
I could lift it, but like, why are you making me lift this machine full of quarters and stuff?
Yeah, that's crazy.
He said you can do it. I'm like, yeah, you're fine. You're right.
Your dad should have looked at you and said, "Joe, ain't nothing changed but the change. I just stay the same."
Dude,
anybody know what that's from?
I'm gonna guess 3-6.
No, Mike Jones. 281-330-8004.
Who was the guy that he rapped with?
So his little clique was Paul Wall, Slim Thug,
Slim Thug,
who was on a Beyonce song, and then promptly poof.
Yeah, well, I was
Disappeared.
thinking about. I was
Sorry, I didn't mean for this.
No,
to
that's
happen.
fine.
I was thinking
Dude,
about.
nerd rage.
So
There's
there
nothing
I
different.
am the other day thinking about Slim Thug.
Not surprised.
But I was kind of like I couldn't remember the dude's name, and I was like, there was a
Slim
dude
Thug.
who could kind of rap
Really deep voice.
with them, and where the fuck
Ja
did
Rule?
he go?
So he fucked up. I'm gonna tell you how he fucked up. He put out a song called "Already Platinum" that didn't go platinum. He
Hubris.
already-
The fucking hubris.
Already bubblegum.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where he went. I mean, Mike Jones is still out there. Paul Wall still raps. Yeah, but that whole chopped and screwed post
That was
DJ Screw,
That was a big flash in the pan.
the Houston thing.
Yeah, well, not. I mean, Houston still has a but
That Houston
that
sound.
that specific crew.
The chopped and screwed, yeah.
Anyway, continue. Joe.
Then I had, after moving, then I had Christmas dinner with her parents, and then after that dinner, Bobby brought me a handmade pizza.
Yes.
So like I already ate a shit ton because it's Christmas dinner. It was like ham and fucking Korean barbecue and sushi, is all kind random green bean casserole, really random mix of shit. So I stuffed myself, and then fucking Bobby said, "I got something for you." I'm like, okay.
So we made. I'll just cut in real quick.
Yeah,
we made two different types of pizzas that night. We made New York style, which is not ready yet. It's not ready to share. We're still working on it.
Oh, the recipe.
Yeah, like what's going on behind the scenes on the sauce and the dough. It's just not ready yet. But then we've also been working on the Chicago one, which hasn't been ready yet. But as of Christmas, it's ready. It's fucking money,
dude.
Like it tastes just like it.
Dude.
I cannot wait for the day, Bobby, where you can hand feed Cody a piece of that.
Oh my god, the reenactment.
Yeah, I mean COVID's over. Travel restrictions have been lifted, but yeah, I mean that shit was on the money. Like everything,
great.
like the cheese is right, the dough is right, the consistency of it all is right. Like that shit is money.
Yep.
Yeah, I was so stuffed that we had a whole extra pizza, and I was like,
Yeah, I was like, why are you giving me a whole fucking pizza?
Yeah,
Give me a slice.
Just give it to Joe. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to write pizza on a piece of paper right now.
I don't know
if
there's
I've
only
ever
the
been
four
there.
of you. How many fucking pizzas do you make?
We made 6
What the fuck?
because
Chris's
let me
face.
explain.
That'd be a lot for me.
Yeah, so because like the dough recipes that we've been like molding, it's like you get to a point where it's like in order to make this, it's going to produce 4 pizzas.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like
That's like every time my wife makes something and there's like 3/4 of the pan left. I said, "Can't you cut this recipe in half?" And she says no.
yeah, exactly.
So we end up with a ton of leftovers that we never eat.
So that's what it is. And then but we only have, I mean, we only have so much oven space for all these pizzas, so they end up coming out kind of 2 at a time.
Yeah.
But then we're eating them. So by the time we got to the Chicago ones, which were the last ones, because the ones we were,
And those are the fucking heavy ones.
they're the heavy ones, and we came out and like, oh my god, it hurts. It hurts so good.
It hurt so good. I was laid out for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's rough, but it's shit's spot on.
good.
It's spot on.
Well, Chris hasn't experienced it.
But that's going to be probably our next hosting effort. But yeah, we're proud of that one. So anyway, continue.
Yeah. Other than that, just as usual, streaming and YouTube. That's what I do on my off times. And 40K stuff.
Did the streams seem to be? Did more people seem to be watching because of the holiday? People being home, or was it about the same?
It's kind of about the same, but like we thought it was going to be deadish because people would be out doing stuff. But no,
Nobody's
like
supposed to be out doing. I don't think a lot of people that watch Twitch streams are out doing stuff.
no, it was like fucking
Holy
60-something people in stream.
shit.
What?
Is Pop Smoke not dead?
I feel that's where the level of my excitement is.
Wow.
I just got a
Breaking news, everybody.
This is a Festivus miracle. I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about it because I've had some. I'm getting wait for my nerd week, but like, I just got
No. You got to go with this
now.
Go.
Yeah.
I just got approved for leave for New Year's Eve.
Oh, has that never happened?
Never.
So you got Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Well, I got Christmas Day, but somebody had to work for me.
Okay.
God damn it.
That's dope.
That's like their late happy birthday.
It is. What What a way to end the birthday. All right, I'm sorry. I'm so happy.
In the 10 years you've been mopping.
And
Isn't
listen,
nice?
and listen, I'm just now noticing you went to honk the horn, but the horn's not there.
The horn's not there.
Did we RIP the horn?
Yeah, I've done it, and I've gone to do it a number of times. I've gone to do
You're
it.
just like your little
Yeah, it looks
so we-
raptor hands.
I'm petting an invisible cat.
It's like you finally stopped looking up there, and now you're petting him.
He still looks up there sometimes, once in a while. He
Every once
forgets.
in a while, yeah.
I think you have to make a conscious effort not to look up there.
So we need 2 people to send this horn, so we have a backup.
So the question now is, I'm just going to tell my wife now. But I can't, I'm speechless. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm speechless.
It's very good.
I thought
Very nice.
I've been at my job, I've been doing the floor gig for 13 years
13
now.
years.
Coming up on 14. I'm right around the corner from 14. But I thought that was going to be a 17, 18 year thing. Mm-hmm. That's where I expected it.
Okay.
Look at me. All right.
Nice.
Dude, that's just going to get a little longer.
The beard.
Yeah. All right. Continue.
No, just the regular stuff. Nothing particular new to report. The No Sleep series, I really like. Tales from the Gas Station has dropped a new one.
That's in the adult store, I'm pretty sure.
Tales from the gas station.
My tales from the gas station are fucked.
The Glory Hole trilogy.
I mean, it's a fucked up.
I had a shit.
Fucked up things happen at this gas station.
I had a shit that could have made the world's greatest nightmares of all time. I used to give my friends cigarettes when I worked at a gas station. And then doing young stupid shit. But continue. Tales from a Gas Station. What is this?
It's a series I've been following, and it's a creepypasta. No sleep.
It's a creepypasta.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's about this guy who can't
And
sleep.
The thing about
What?
Gangsters move in silence like the lasagna. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Right? We recall. We say this every time the creepypasta comes up.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm just not giving him
Yep.
anymore.
You know what's funny?
It's gonna be, goddamn it, every year it's gonna be a compilation of me getting fucked.
You know what's funny is the first time I heard that, I thought he was talking about the noodles. Like, it's like lasagna like kind of moves and shifts as you cut it, and it's kind of quiet.
I mean, Wayne.
it took me a
Wayne
minute.
Shit. Sometimes it's 3 or 4. I'll listen to his shit now, and I'm like, "What the fuck? What the?" And I was like, "Kelly, come here, listen to." She's like, "Yeah."
Like the G is silent.
In lasagna.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so that's good if you. It's on YouTube, so like it's voiced a lot on YouTube, but like the entire book isn't. Like, it's one of those things that's been so popular. The author has been able to put out actual books because his free short stories were so popular.
Gotcha.
So and a new book dropped. So
That's cool.
and a big excerpt of it is on YouTube also, and it makes me want to get the book now because it ends between arcs, but like I want to know what the next arc is.
That's cool. Love to hear it.
Yep,
Is that it?
that's it.
That's it.
So you didn't watch The Mandalorian?
Oh, you did?
I thought we were gonna have a Mandalorian. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, but
you did watch it?
yes,
Okay.
I binged it in
Okay.
one day.
Okay.
all of
Well,
it.
then we'll talk.
Yeah,
Except I,
think
didn't know
we'll-
I didn't know there was a post credit scene because I forgot it was.
Well, I'm
Disney.
sure the internet told you that, though.
I didn't watch it though. I
Okay,
just knew
well,
about it.
We can tell you because
Yeah.
nothing.
It's not that big of a deal.
I mean, usually isn't
Or
right.
We could watch it real quick. It's fine. Yeah. But we'll get to that definitely.
Yeah.
My
Kris.
turn. So, Christmas. I actually was working the week of Christmas until the 24th.
I mean, I work Christmas
It
Eve.
was like in what I do for a living. Most of the time, you think it would just be everybody's. There were people asking me to get shit done for them an hour before we closed for 10 days.
Oh, welcome to fucking retail, motherfucker.
Dude,
He's
listen.
been working retail.
You see these teeth? They're all cut
Yeah.
from fucking retail. I know. But
Dude,
this is.
I didn't mention it because I don't want to bring down mood down, but
this
it's
is-
been awful. Work's been awful.
I
this
can only
week.
imagine.
It's been goddamn awful.
But if you ask me to get a process done that takes normally 3 business days, an hour before because you waited to the last fucking day to do your paperwork, that's not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
yeah.
I did everything I could, and I guess I'll get yelled at about it when we go back on the 4th. But my company's actually closed this week, which is really cool. It's basically a free vacation week.
Yeah, that's nice.
We came over here for Christmas Eve. Had a great dinner. It was a lot of fun. Missed you guys for sure.
Yeah, I did too. And I'll tell you, I ate myself sick that night. I was uncomfortable. I ate too much.
I mean, and the day after that, you ate 6 pizzas.
Yeah, but I didn't. But,
Yeah.
But but I didn't. I pretty much didn't eat for 24 hours.
I'll be honest. Like killing doesn't make red meat. I don't eat red meat a lot, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it. But I think just because I haven't had it in so long, especially a really nice, I've had a hamburger here and there out to eat, but a very good, properly cooked piece of meat, and I ate probably one more piece than I should have.
Right. I was uncomfortable.
That's what holiday meals are about, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
And I didn't tell you, Charlie actually got sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we think it might have been the steak. Not anything wrong with it, but he's never
doesn't eat it.
All in the bed. Santa had already come.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, obviously it's not your fault,
Right, but I feel somehow you feel responsible.
But it's so he went to bed. He said his stomach hurt, so we kind of knew. Kelly sent him up a little garbage can. He yelled for us. We went in there and
it's everywhere.
No, Indian style, right in the middle. And he said, "But I do feel better." Well, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
Keeping him in the back because Santa had already come. We were washing sheets and.
Did you get the cats to eat it?
I'm sorry?
Nope.
Is that a thing?
Didn't have the cats eat it. No.
Cats eat their own vomit. Dogs like vomit.
Yeah, dogs love it.
If you throw up in front of a dog, they'll start eating it while you're throwing up.
Like a baby bird.
I've seen it.
Animals are gross.
They try to eat vomit out of your mouth. It's like, please, throw up my mouth.
So gross.
That's how they do it, though. That's how
No.
It's so aggressive.
And you hate the noises.
I do.
Dude,
unless it's...
Can we get an ASMR thing of just dogs eating?
I'm sure you can. There's ASMR of girls giving virtual blowjobs.
Love to hear
They're
it.
just snobbing on the mic.
Love to hear
it. Dude, you're so sensitive to that shit. Not girls snobbing.
But
that
general
too.
mouth noises.
I don't want to hear.
We used to
mouth
sit
noises.
here and fucking with headphones on, right, doing the podcast, and he would be like, "Smeagol, stop it!" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And he's like next from over, like slightly licking his paw.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. I like, and I know where it originates from. Hearing my dad had like a no, all right, relax. Relax. My dad had basically a girlfriend from...
Oh, it gets better.
From before I can remember till I was in 5th grade. Now, I think my mom cheated on my dad. That's how their marriage started to fall apart. And then as their marriage was falling apart, my dad just jumped on this other thing. Mm-hmm. And she was like around. I used to call her aunt. Like she was around all the time, you know? Which was weird, given the context of it all. Mm-hmm. But they used to go downstairs, like to when she would leave for the night, because she never slept over when I was a kid. Mm. And they would kiss a lot.
Make out.
Yeah, and like I would be upstairs hearing it, and it would be driving me nuts.
Oh,
and I think probably jealousy of, you know what I mean, like this, you know what I mean, because like my dad was all, my dad, and my grandma was all I had, and but like I think that's where it originated from. Yeah, like I can't stand to be around gum chewers. You know, like it drives me nuts. Like
brings back that fucking feeling.
I used to compare it to like, people hate, like, you hang around like a cigarette smoker and you got to deal with him smoking or her smoking cigarettes and the smell and all of that. And I understand, but to me, the gum chewer is equal because I got to listen to it, and you're doing it for hours on end, and I've got to listen to it the whole time. You know?
Yeah. I guess it depends. I mean, I chew gum a lot, but I'm very conscious of the way I chew it.
So I was a conscious cigarette smoker. Like I would step away from the group, and kind of, you know what I mean.
Sure.
Like if I realized that I was downwind or up, I would adjust and
bob and weave.
Yeah, like I was like
there's Weave and Bobby over there. Try not to get smoke in my eyes.
I think it might have been Adam. It was either Adam or Shoulders used to say like he is the most courteous cigarette smoker I've ever seen. Like because I would go out of my way, I would wash my hands afterwards.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. Shit
That was
like
the guy in pharmacy school. I didn't know he smoked till like 2 years in, and we're in the same class.
Yeah.
Like I saw him outside smoking. I'm like, I didn't know. He
I have
washes his hands. He has mouthwash. He rinses his mouth. Like you would never know he fucking smoked.
Yeah, I know a guy who smokes that you wouldn't know if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
that's-
do.
that's-
I've caught him like once or twice.
That's
but
crazy hard.
Yeah.
So to speak.
It's a combination of hand sanitizer and I think Listerine strips.
Because like not to have
No,
it bake
he was-
into your clothes, you have to be like constantly like blowing it away from you the whole time you're smoking. That's so much work, man.
He was well prepared for COVID.
Yeah.
Is there because you used to smoke? You used to smoke, right?
Yeah, long.
So we all used to smoke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both.
Was there ever a scene in a movie that like you instantly go to? You're like, man, like, or like when you watch now and you're like, I want a fucking cigarette so fucking bad.
Pretty much every time I see somebody smoke
Yeah,
a
Really?
cigarette.
I've never not like I quit. It's no problem me
Right.
not smoking, but yeah, after every good meal, after every good fuck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
After
for sure, for
seeing
sure.
anybody smoke, just about except for a meth head, because I see meth head smoke down where I
Then it
work.
doesn't look good.
That doesn't look good. But like otherwise, I'm like, man, that shit is
The best,
good right
the
now.
best cigarette is after like a cigarette after Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
or Christmas Eve.
That would
dinner.
have hit on 1,000.
That I miss being like young when we were just no one has at their own house and you just had party houses like you had with
Yeah.
Mario and stuff. But like smoking a cigarette or taking a dump is like one of the best things ever.
So I've done it, and I did it at Mario's
it's
house
fucking
just to try it.
amazing.
It is amazing.
It's fucking
You
amazing.
did
It is
what? I'm
amazing.
sorry, what?
Smoke a cigarette while taking a shit.
I've never done that.
It's fucking
It's
great,
great.
especially if you have a window, so you can have fresh air, smoking, and taking a dump
It's
at the
great.
same time.
It's great. It's great. The reason why, like when I watch True Romance and I watch Dennis Hopper smoke that cigarette right before they kill him, I've never seen anybody smoke a cigarette and look like it's like a delicacy the way he smokes. Like he enjoys every fucking leaf in that rolled cigarette.
I mean, I want a cigarette now.
And like the way it's like the way it sounds when it's like you can
crackle?
you can hear the crack
the
and the
crackle,
pull
yeah.
and like when he pulls off of it, you can see like little ash kind of like flickering in the atmosphere and stuff. Like it's just like it's the best.
I think my heart rate is
smoking
increasing
season.
right now.
So there's is it the first Alien movie where they're all smoking?
Yes.
And it just seems so
And
odd
around the
that
breakfast
they'd
table.
be smoking in the
In the
future.
spaceship. In the spaceship.
In the spaceship.
You can't even smoke in a plane anymore.
Yeah. Could you imagine right now they'll get on an airplane, somebody next to you's got a fucking pack of Marlboro Reds or Camel No
you know what
filters?
that shit comes down to is courtesy.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately it's the courtesy issue.
I mean, I'm sure it's people's. Oh yeah, me and my 2 children were sitting on an aisle of 4, and the man, on the aisle was smoking
Do they still make
camels all the time.
planes with like the little ashtray?
You'll find one every once in a while.
Because
Wow.
It's
you
an
know,
old
oh
plane.
fuck, there's an old goddamn plane
It's an old
Yeah.
plane. Yeah, I've flown on one the past
with
5
that no
years.
smoking sign that still lights up. It's like
I think-
dude, this shit is at least 20 years old. This
Yeah,
goddamn
I
plane.
don't think they had that.
Makes me think about and I was talking to because Laura, we're gonna have to buy new headphones. I think it's that it's blown out.
Well, I can't hear myself, but I can hear you guys.
So weird.
It is strange.
But
I thought it would be a software thing if you can't hear yourself.
yeah, that does sound more accurate.
I don't
but
know. But it comes and goes out of this year.
Okay.
it makes me think about Kanye's workout plan. Where like one woman's like, ever since I bought Kanye's workout plan, I lost 20 pounds. I found myself a ball player, and I rode a plane.
Listen, if it ain't where you're from, it's something different, right?
Yeah.
So
None of y'all went to church
when?
for Christmas.
No.
Okay.
Uh,
Don't people do that?
I think people do that. My wife's family was a C&E family.
Who?
Christmas and Easter church
Oh,
family.
I think that's A&E.
Yeah, but it was like and I mean, my wife grew up Catholic, I grew up Catholic, and I mean, Mass,
It's 4 hours.
it's a nightmare.
I've never done that. I grew up Methodist, which is like Baptist like cousin.
I grew up in black churches, which was great.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
Weird,
know
right?
that.
Yeah, I mean, when I came to America, and then I got sent to fucking Christian school, so I went to a black church.
Really?
And
Was
I
it
was
that
like,
one over there on Guilford and Oakland Mills? Because that wasn't too far from where you lived.
Maybe I didn't drive at the time because it was before I got sent to military school. It was the next step. I got sent to Christian school, and I got sent to military school.
So I went to a number of black churches in 2004.
okay, that's way after my time.
Correct.
Yeah.
But like coming from my life with pretty much Catholic, and then when my mom got kicked out, Episcopal, which is the Methodist of Catholic. Going to one of those, I was like, no wonder people go.
Yes.
They have a
There's
blast
a fucking party
here.
every fucking
There's
week.
A band, and they're
Live
dancing,
music.
and they're
Everyone's dressed up, and then there's food afterwards.
nobody looks like they're a Jedi.
They're doing the electric slide.
Like this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
I can imagine going because I've never been to a Catholic church.
Oh God, do yourself a favor and keep
I mean,
that going.
I've seen it in the movies, and that's enough. But it just, I think I know where a Catholic church is in Huntsville, Alabama.
Where you from?
Yeah, but it's all Baptist, Methodist, Church of Christ occasionally.
The flaming fire people, right?
That's the holiness, the holiness people. Yeah, you get
Through the fire and flames, Baptist.
Get up in the woods, you're gonna find them holiness. Did I tell you about going to the holiness? I have been to holiness church.
Really? Oh
yeah, I dated a holiness
girl. Yes.
Well, let me rephrase that. Her family was holiness. I did go to church, and her dad was. He said, "No, don't open the cabinet under the sink in the bathroom. That's where we keep the snakes." And I really didn't know if he was telling me the truth
Right,
or
I
not,
wouldn't
but
either.
He wasn't, but that was an experience.
There's a Force Sensitive episode that we did with Sean Diesel of,
Yep.
and he grew up in that culture.
Okay.
And it's fast. It's my favorite one we've ever done because it was just so fucking fascinating. Like
Yeah.
we skipped pretty much Star Wars for the first hour and just talked about the religious upbringing and how how it connected to him in Star Wars and all that.
The Mandalorian.
Correct.
Being raised in the cult.
Yeah, so it was, but it's a good listen.
I've got a lot of stories about that time in my life that I have not divulged, but
When you're ready,
I mean,
all ears.
they're yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's
Fast statute of
mostly,
limitation at some point.
it's my stories about other people's stories, so a lot of it's like
all good.
I can tell this stuff if I guess. So Christmas morning, get up the kids. We normally do gifts with the kids on Christmas Eve, but Charlie said, I don't want to open. I was like, well, that's how we knew he was sick. Like, this kid doesn't want to open. So we ended up opening everything. Charlie got something I'm really excited to play with myself. He got a metal detector. I've always wanted a metal detector. Yeah.
like
beep, beep, beep. Yeah. It's just been,
you guys gonna go out to the beach?
No, we're going to go out in our yard. Dude, there's so much crap in our yard.
Just to pick up garbage.
Well, I mean, like
Here's
going
a tuna can.
up and down that yeah, who knows? But it came with like a little spade and everything. But it's been so he's wanting to go out. I'm like, dude, here's the deal. If it beeps, that ground's so hard right now, we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah,
Plus,
yeah.
our whole yard's rocks. But
Mine too.
It's fucking cold.
Mine too.
yeah, but that was fun. We had a good time. I played Froggy Fresh as the walkout music for everybody to, which was funny to me.
Yeah.
That song's so ridiculous. And we did a chicken wing buffet for our
That's
Christmas
awesome.
dinner.
Where do you get chicken wings buffet on Christmas?
Well,
Chinese place?
No, Kelly bought frozen wings.
Oh,
and
okay.
She and I've never gone to all this trouble to make them, but she boiled them first, then she baked them and then sauced them. So we had Parmesan garlic, Caribbean jerk,
Oh,
and
nice.
Just like mild buffalo.
Parmesan garlic's that magic sauce for me, so to speak.
Man.
That doubles the calories.
I don't know how many she cooked, but I think she said it was 56 wings. It was 3 of us. I think there were like 4 left.
Wow.
We fucked
Sounds
it up.
right.
It was great, and had fries and so many desserts. Leftover banana pudding. I finished that all. That's gone
That shit
now.
was good, man.
Yeah, everything was great. It was good. It was good. It was very chill. Just hanging out at the house. We watched some movies. Charlie actually, he very rarely wants to watch anything.
Right.
It's always video games and YouTubes and this. But he wanted to watch a couple movies, so we did watch a couple that I wanted to mention. We watched. It's on Netflix. It's called Over the Moon. It's not great. It's
That's okay.
well, it's fine. Charlie liked it's based in the Chinese culture, which they make it just Chinese enough for it's Chinese, but that's it. And it's about, and this may actually be a lore of some kind, but it's about
With a bunny and the lady in the moon?
it's a lady in the moon, and there's a bunny.
Yeah,
Yes,
there you go.
is that
That's the Chinese thing.
okay?
What's
So-
what's the thing to it? Like, is there?
Some goddess had to sacrifice her man, and now she lives on the moon and is
She's
sad.
stuck on the moon.
And long story short, they end up the girl builds a rocket and they go to the moon. Yeah, it gets a bit contrived.
She's pretty good. Talented.
Took it too literally.
Right. It's animated beautifully. Like,
Oh, it's animated. Okay.
Yeah. This is it's
Him saying that she took it too literally reminds me of that scene in Batman Begins where he's like, I see you took my comments about theatricality a bit literally.
yeah, a bit literally. Yeah, it's computer animated, but it's very beautifully done. Just the little nuances of the way they move their heads and stuff. Charlie enjoyed it. It was fine.
That's all.
It was fine.
It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
For the kids.
And then he wanted to watch Soul, which is the Pixar movie that I don't know if it ever actually came out in theaters, but it's on Disney.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
It was great.
Is it-
I mean,
yeah?
it's
James
a Pixar
Brown?
movie, huh?
Oh, I thought it was about James Brown.
Well, it's about a musician. It's about a musician
there you
who,
Has-
and it ends up being really fucking.
James Brown's funk.
It
King of funk.
ends up being really fucking deep. Basically, his soul leaves his body, and he's kind of he ends up in a place where all the souls are being produced, and you
The
have
Chamber of Guff is what they call that.
I don't
in
know.
Christianity.
in some point, like when the soul is ready to go to Earth, it jumps off the portal and goes to Earth to be in a person or whatever.
Wow.
So he gets stuck there and ends up going. And I'm trying to figure out how to say this. The difference between what your purpose in life is and what you're meant to do are not necessarily the same thing.
Okay.
Like your purpose and what you're meant to do.
Huh.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain.
I'm going to watch
That's
this.
some philosophy.
It is.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really deep. I mean, I think
Like, it
kids
makes me
enjoy
want to
it.
think about this.
Kids
Yeah.
enjoy it because it's shiny and it's pretty and it's Pixar, so it's beautifully animated.
Right.
And it's about a musician, so there's a lot of a jazz musician, so there's a lot of music in it, and you know this.
Oh, jazz above, soul below, dude.
Who's that?
As above, so below.
It was like this music series, like Time Warner, but like, you know what I mean? They would come on like little infomercials at night.
Oh, Time Warner Music
and it would be like,
presents.
and it'd be like, ooh, now you can get into the sultry sounds of jazz above, soul below. Order now and get 2 volumes with an additional one every month for the low cost of $19.99.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, shipping and handling. For some reason, it took 6 weeks to get anything back then, and I don't really know why.
No, it's like fucking shit now.
I know, but we're logistics
I
of
have shit
that.
from like fucking Britain. I still haven't gotten it. It's been over a month.
I will tell you, this is the first year I think Mason really like went out of his way to spend his own money to buy me and Kelly presents
Nice.
that are in the mail. He ordered them the first week
man.
in December. Same with his girlfriend's present.
Dude, I have
It's
a
stuck in the mail.
I have an eBay purchase that was supposed to be delivered to my house December 1st.
I have an eBay purchase that is similar. It was tagged.
I'm not.
It was tagged in Baltimore. And here's I think I've talked about this, and we'll talk a little bit about. So obviously, anything we get comes through Baltimore,
Right.
and Baltimore's fucked. It's been on the news how fucked they are.
Yep.
I think what's happening is here's Monday's bucket of mail. Well, let's get all the packages we can off of that. Oh, well, here's Tuesday's. Well, let's get the most we can.
Yep.
And here's Wednesday. So by now they've got 3 days worth. They're not going to get through this day, much less
Yeah, it
the
just
two
keeps piling
days
on.
worth. So
And stuff like you can get in chronologically.
But I had
because it keeps coming in.
I had 2 things shipped out of Nashville that came in 2 days. They scanned on the 22nd and they came on the 20th. 2 horribly insignificant things I had bought that had nothing to do with
course.
Christmas.
Yeah, my experience has been the same. Some shit is just coming right on time, and some shit is really late. I'm not mad about it being
And
late. I understand it.
FedEx is on the money. I don't know.
FedEx and UPS has been good to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
But,
I haven't had any
it's
complaints with
different
either
yeah.
one of those.
Because I know Royal Mail is super behind. Because I order parts, like 40K parts from England a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and like one of the stores is just like, don't like we have a sale right now, but don't bother ordering because like we're not even shipping stuff out.
Right.
Royal Mail is so fucked that we not even
Well,
gonna
and
bother shipping
here's
stuff out.
here's the difference. And somebody, I want to say Tyler brought this to our attention, to my attention at least. FedEx and UPS can say no. They can say, we're not going to come get your packages. Well, guess who gets to come get them then? The post office.
Mm-hmm.
So
Post office
FedEx
don't
and
refuse.
UPS did not take any new business customers in December. That's why they were still able to run at a decent pace. Whereas the post office gets fucked because they get everything
Yeah.
else.
And I mean, and I feel bad. Like I understand people being mad not getting their shit, but they're shitting on the post office and like, dude, the post office is doing the best, bro.
I agree.
What's even worse
know-
than that is somebody like, for example, Bobby, if you were just being a complete dick and had filed a PayPal claim on this guy that whatever eBay you're waiting, it's not his fault.
No. Agreed.
I mean, I've got the situation. The guy's been very forthcoming. Like 3 days after, he's like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on with it. You should have had it already." Blah blah blah. So he's been in constant communication with me. So I'm like, it's
PayPal,
nothing I need.
But that's hell customer service on his
It
part
is.
too.
And you get 6 months on PayPal to put a claim in. Like if you lost something now, you can put it in fucking 5 months later and still get your money back. Just fucking give it a minute.
That's true, but I don't use PayPal through eBay. I use a credit card.
But if you go through PayPal though, I think it's PayPal is PayPal. It doesn't have to be eBay.
But I'm not.
Oh, you're paying directly.
Correct.
Okay. Then how are you getting your money back anyway?
What do you mean?
Well, he's talking about people putting in PayPal claims.
Yeah, no.
Or
I'm just
an
saying,
eBay claim,
I'm just saying
more
as a side note for my eBay thing that I'm slightly concerned about, only because it's supposed to be delivered, not shipped.
Oh, you used eBay without using PayPal?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I
I do that too. I have a credit card or debit card attached to my PayPal that I use through them. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So I'm not concerned about any of it. It's gonna. I think this next week we're all just gonna
shake
get
it out.
Things will work out.
a ton of packages.
Shake it off.
And if you go through anything that's not just fucking wire transfer or cash, there's some kind of claim you can fucking put in, even with your credit cards.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Watch some. Actually, I had a question real quick. I had a dentist appointment last week, and while I was there,
So
do
brave.
you think they should have
They had to file them tooth down.
right?
A taste.
Do you think that if they have some sort of trainee or person that is not, should they say, "Hey, Julie's going to be watching us today"?
1,000%.
They were doing a fucking, and the more I think about it, the odder it was. They were doing like an otter. I don't know what otters do. Is that what otters do?
They lay on their back and
Yeah, and they have a little rock they like to flip around.
Is that what
They have a favorite rock they carry with them everywhere, and they flip it around as a little toy. I fucking love otters, man.
Me too.
I think 2021 may be time for Uncle Otter over here. He's really good at that. They were like doing, I guess they were interviewing this guy. I think it was some sort of like hands-on interview. They were asking her questions. I mean, I know where she lives, what how
In the
many
same
dogs
room?
she had.
Yeah.
Well, she was like, this dentist office set up very peculiar for me. It's almost like cubicles. But this girl they were talking, like she was over here, I'm laying there, and dentist is here, and they were just talking about, have you done this and this and this, and
They have no other room.
and I wanted I wanted to say, oh, excuse me, you are not qualified to work here based on what you're saying. I know I have no input in this situation,
but
but
I said,
wild.
I think that anytime anybody is training and is in the room for any capacity, whether it's working on you or observing, all of that needs to be disclosed.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Kelly said, what about HIPAA? How does that work? I'm like, I mean, I don't know.
If they're a medical professional,
But this girl wasn't.
guess
This
that-
was like,
yeah, she's-
she had been
a receptionist or something?
she had been a receptionist at a fucking like a law firm or some shit.
You know what the funny part is? What I not miss, but like you don't think about. But back when we would go to the mall a lot, you go to either food court. There's always somebody interviewing somebody for a mall job.
yeah,
I've met
Yeah.
people at.
It's always
Yeah,
that's true.
I've used to meet people at the mall to interview them.
Yeah,
if,
you
if
see
I had
people
a,
with like their paperwork, and one guy's in a suit, and the other guy's like fucking sitting there looking nervous.
I've,
Like,
and I've gone to interviews at the mall.
it's a wild place to be having a fucking job interview.
I remember the last one I did when I was in the film industry. GameStop was looking for some store managers.
GameStop's always looking for people.
They don't. It's 'cause
turnovers.
they don't pay anybody anything.
and they treat them like shit. Turnover is amazing.
Speaking of
Like everyone you've talked to in the nerd community has worked at GameStop at one point in their life.
Speaking of job interviews, there's this facility near where I work, and they I always see ambulances going in and out of this place because like it's a stressful job and it's a stressful interview, and people fall out during the interview process.
Like ambulance that are on, like with a wheel,
yeah, like I was like,
wheel.
This has happened. You've seen it more than once.
Oh my God, regularly. And I one time I asked a guy as I was leaving, he was leaving, our businesses are somewhat close, and I was like, hey man, can I ask you a question? And I asked him, and he was like, dude, he's like, we have a pretty stressful interview process, and people fucking fall, like lie detectors are involved, and you know,
fucking car batteries to the nuts.
yeah, I think they waterboard you. I'm not entirely sure.
Pretty brutal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, but it happens probably once a month at least.
They weren't meant for that job, obviously.
Yeah,
They can't
yeah,
stand
yeah,
the fucking heat. Goddamn kitchen.
But anyways, I wanted to mention that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Watched Home Alone 1 and 2.
I did too.
And
I didn't watch any fucking holiday movies.
I will
this year.
tell you,
Oh man,
I have not heard Charlie laugh out loud at something.
it's funny. My kids love it also.
Oh, Home Alone.
Just
Yeah,
I love Home Alone.
just
It's great.
them getting destroyed. Home Alone 1 is great. Home Alone 2 is
Terrible.
It's not a great.
It's terrible,
There's so many plot holes.
and it's such a retread.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like it doesn't get as much. I feel like they're harder on episode 7. You know, and they shouldn't be.
I mean, they probably just made Home Alone. They never planned to make Home Alone 2. I'm sure. But
I'm glad
it's
Tony-
like Home Alone was such a fucking hit. They're like, oh, gotta make another one.
Scramble.
I'm glad all those years later, Tony Soprano killed Kevin's dad because
Oh yeah,
they were horrible parents.
I mean,
twice
obviously.
you leave this kid.
There's like a meme that I think Dust shared it that I saw that was like, no wonder he could afford this big ass house. He was working with
He was
Tony
working
Soprano.
with Tony Soprano. Yeah.
There's more Home Alones after that. Without what's his face, Macaulay Culkin.
Oh,
Yes,
great.
there are. The third one
Yep.
is some other kid. Yeah, and it goes downhill from there.
I assume there's more than 3 too. I assume it's one of those
Yeah,
like
it's
there's
just
like,
completely.
you know there's
different.
like 7 Scorpion Kings or some shit like that.
Mhm, there are. Yeah, just like there's 12 Lion King sequels and
Well, Fast and Furious keeps making it into the theaters. The difference, like
Yeah.
and Resident Evil for whatever goddamn reason keeps making it into the
Yeah, I haven't
theaters.
enjoyed any of those.
No, me either.
Um,
I feel like that goddamn couple is like trying to ruin video games movies for whatever reason. Because
I'm not sure if anybody
Monster-
is trying not to ruin video games.
Monster
movies.
Hunter movie, the new Monster Hunter movie, which I'm not watching. I love the games.
Uh-huh.
It's also Paul S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich as the lead actress.
Interesting.
And I'm not
and
about
Jen, the rapper.
Urso? Oh, no.
Oh,
That's that same movie we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Was that the week you missed that we were talking about how that, like in China, there was some joke
Yeah.
about.
Oh yes.
No, I was here.
Were you here for that? Okay.
Yeah, I was here.
Yeah, it's very odd. I watched a video. It's funny.
Chinese.
I guess I had. Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's fucking funny.
it is. It is.
What kind of knees are these?
Yeah, I mean, it was
I get it. It's insensitive. But like,
yeah.
Fuck. I forgot to bring I was going to bring the Oculus. I forgot it.
Oh,
I had all that other shit with me. I finished the VR Vader game, which it's super short, and I don't think you can die. I really don't. But it's a lot of fun. Like, they teach you, like, there's 3 episodes to it, and they're not long. But this was apparently one of the first things they developed for this. But it's pretty cool because you're standing there and Vader's literally standing right in front of you talking to you.
Yeah.
But the first one you learn how to use a saber, the second one you learn how to use your force powers, and the third one you have to use that stuff to, get the MacGuffin. And it's a cool story. The way.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Only because I thought it was something
I totally had that on my. I had it ready to go,
stress
but
it
I
out.
had all this
I'm
other
so
stuff
fucking
to bring,
busy right
so.
now. Anyway,
you
so
try VR porn yet?
No, I did.
is that available through that platform?
Yeah,
Well-
it's available for your phone. You can buy a headset to slide your phone into.
Well, I will tell you that
But that doesn't feel. I tried that, and I don't feel like how I thought I would feel in virtual reality. It just seems like I'm watching a movie in a movie.
It's a separation of tactile. Like your brain doesn't mesh up. Is
I
the
got
thing. It's better with the Rift.
I am not. I did learn, I guess, about home brewing these things. It's not that hard to like get non-approved software.
Really?
Yeah, I believe Justin L. had mentioned it in a. I don't know. I didn't realize how many people had these things. So a lot of people have them.
I mean, the prices come down, and like if you're a big old fucking nerd like us, then
Big old fucking.
Oh, and I played.
we are what we are.
Dude, you know so and so, big old fucking nerd. Oh yeah, I know the guy.
She was a great big fat woman.
I got done with the Vader, and there's a lot of Kelly's bought a bunch of games. Some of them are
But
like
Beat Sabers though, you
4 or
can't get tired
5.
of
Yeah,
Beat Sabers.
right. I played one called Job Simulator, and it's like set
Oh,
in
with
the
the
future.
supermarket.
So I worked in an office. You have to like make a presentation and do spreadsheets. And I'm like, this is what I fucking do all day anyway. But you get to hire people and fire people. And there's just like shit all around. You've got staplers and donuts, and you can just throw shit everywhere.
Dude, if I put that on and there was a mopping stick, I would throw that thing across the room so fast.
Well, then I worked in a convenience store.
Yeah, that's the one I know.
Then I got robbed. But what's funny is the guy comes in with He comes in with a face mask on, and he has a banana as his gun. And I keep taking his banana and scanning it. And I was like, can I just make him pay for these? He couldn't. I had to give him the cheese that was in the safe.
I saw speaking of robberies, I saw a murder on like a security cam thing, like that ended up kind of going viral.
Is this rap related?
No,
okay.
Just like one of those like one of those fucking websites. Like it's an Instagram account I follow where it's like crazyshit.com. But this guy is walking down a street. He's got his hands he's got a coat on. He's got his hands in his coat. And then he like as he's approaching this car, he like kind of stretches out his hands, and in this hand he's got a fucking gun in the pocket of his coat, shoots through the coat into a car, kills the guy, shoots a couple times, and then moves on. Doesn't rob him or anything. Like, it was a hit. Mm-hmm. But, like, I was just like, fuck. Like, I mean, it sucks, and crime is terrible, and murdering, but I was also like, man, that's a good movie shit right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say it's a cool way to do it.
I get it.
In a fictional world, it would be a cool way to do it.
I mean, it's never cool in real life.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Detest it.
Unless, that guy is...
Unless he was a monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he was a monster.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
We got the laser up and running.
Laser.
Here's something why is this phone doing it? I hate that shit.
Ever since I came over to work with the laser.
So that's already cut there?
Yeah, just everything.
And is this NDF or what is this?
That's MDF, yeah.
Ever since I came over to work on the laser thing, like I get a lot of Instagram feed about the all the stuff with the X-Carve has now been replaced with lasers.
Yeah.
That's precise.
It is precise. It's very precise.
Is how I would describe that.
I mean, this is probably 4 hours of me laying that out.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's
using Illustrator and then the software, which I'm learning how to use Illustrator, which I'm proud of because that's a pretty complicated program I've never messed with before.
I need to come back over and work on that stuff.
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, we do. And I ordered some material off Amazon. I watched.
It's gonna come in 3 months.
No, it actually came in
already. Oh,
so
let me pay you. Fuck.
Well, I don't know if it'll work for.
Oh, not from my stuff.
Not for yours.
Stuff.
No,
okay.
Sorry, Joe. I'm being selfish.
No, that's fine. No, my stuff is at Home Depot. So
yeah. Well, we might not use that because I think part of the problem is that stuff has that. It's like a sticky.
Yeah, with
this stuff isn't
toxic gas that's coming out of that goddamn thing.
Yeah, this stuff isn't sticky. It's MDF, but it's a lower glue count or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I was watching Adam Savage on Tested do something, and it was something to do with a laser cutter. And he's like, I put the link in the description of where I got the material, and it's an an Amazon store that sells. So it's a what do they call them? Flat rate post office box, but there's one called a game box that like you can put a board game in. It's like that long if you think about.
Okay.
And he's got it's like 12 by 20 pieces of this material, and I think it's like 25 or 30 pieces of it.
Wow.
It's $100 for the box, but it cuts so much cleaner. And we've got tape that will cover the whole thing, so you can mat it off.
Nice.
It's really good. The Expanse came back on.
Oh, I need
Season 5?
After Hannibal. I need to get back on Expanse. That's what
so they're slow rolling it though. They're not doing it all at once.
I know, but I'm so behind.
Oh, okay.
I need to watch the last season.
Oh, you haven't watched season 4?
Last place I left off was when they're in the new world, in the new planet, with the scientists on one side and the refugees.
Oh, so you're about halfway through season 4. I think.
Okay, and that was season 4 was the last season.
Yes, because they're in season 5, and then they're doing one more season after this,
and then over.
And that's supposedly all they're going to do.
Perfect.
So
I can finish season 4 then. They activated the fucking alien machine.
Yep. So finish season 4, season 5. They're all.
It's still good. It's still great.
They're all on their own adventures.
Like Mandalorian.
Well, they've all gone. Holden's on Tycho Station.
Yep. With Fred Johnson.
Yeah, and I don't want to say anything else because
don't spoil it for me. But yeah,
I will say that Amos has come to Baltimore.
Amos is everyone's favorite. It's the Baltimore guy,
and they've started to tell some of that story with him.
He's definitely
such a good fucking show, man.
And all the characters. I love ensemble team movies or shows, stories where like every team member is interesting. There's no because a lot of times you like. Was it TLC? No. Destiny's Child? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't need no Michelle Williams.
You focus on the one person, and it's like, well, I guess the rest of the team doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's funny because Holden never seemed like he doesn't seem like a leading man. He never has to me.
As an actor, or
just that character in the guy's presence.
But that's the thing. He wasn't meant
to be.
He never wanted to be the leader.
Yeah.
And from the get go, he's like, "You're gonna run your own ships," and now I'm just gonna fucking space truck or whatever it is I do.
Right. And one thing that's interesting is they have to do a little bit of being famous now because they're famous because of everything they've done.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, but I'm excited.
So if you say it stays good, then I'm definitely.
It's definitely good. Yeah. So we watched. There's 4 episodes out now, and I think it ends in February. They're doing one a week. It's the same way they did The Boys. They roll The Boys out like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a great show, Bobby. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's really. I don't know if you like it, but. I mean, we both really like that show.
Yeah. I struggle, man. I struggle with the commitment. I really want to watch Titans. Like, I'm really interested in where it goes, and like,
I know the quality fell off on that. You've said that.
It
like
has,
season 1, you binged,
but it hasn't.
Through.
Correct. No, but I didn't binge it. It still took me weeks.
You were like, can't wait.
Correct.
And
correct.
Like, it wasn't work so much. Now it's like I feel like you're working through season 2.
Yes, but I think that's what it is. Is that it has to be so fucking compelling to keep my attention, just because of how big the commitment is to it. That's what I like about a movie, man. I like to sit down, 2 hours, walk away. We've gone our separate ways.
That's how I feel about a lot of gaming right now, because big AAA games are like big story, 40, 50 hours. Right. I love those, but like don't have the time commitment.
Right.
So like with the streaming and stuff, like I've been playing instance game, which means like you sit down, you play, and that's it. Like Among Us and shit like that. And I actually played a new one recently that you guys might like. It's very simple. It's not even much of. You can play it in person. It's called Codenames. You don't have to download the game or nothing. Everyone just goes.
I've heard of the board game, right?
Exactly.
Same thing?
Exactly. But like while COVID season, everyone can log in on this website and join the same room and play.
Oh.
So like you need at least 6 people. You want for fun.
I don't know if 6 people.
You want at least 2 teams of 3 plus. So like it's a game board full of words. All right. One of them is instant lose for anyone that picks it, and some of them are neutral, and some of them points one team, some of them are points for the other team. The team members don't see it. All they see is a whiteboard. The leaders knows which is which is good words, which are the bad words. So the leader has to say a clue, one single word clue, and then the team member have to guess the right words.
I've never played that. It always looked interesting.
It's like I was, this sounds interesting. When I got to play it. It's almost like what's that game with the list of words and you can't say the word, you have to make the other person guess it.
Oh, not categories, but Taboo.
Yeah, it's like Taboo, but like
Taboo's awesome.
Yeah, but it's amplified. Gotcha. So if you like your team is people who just fucking are in the know, you can say a word and somebody else can just instantly get it. Right. So like when me and Krista we do randomized team. When me and Krista ends up on the same team, we do real fucking good.
So we used to
So you can play it family.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, that would be something cool. We could even do like with my parents. My parents are in Florida, by the way.
I'll send you the link.
It's a super spreader event.
Super spreader.
So
what about, isn't that Super COVID? Where Cody's from now?
Yeah. So my parents did opt out of a larger family gathering with my brother and his in-laws to go down to the where they stay for the winter, basically. I mean, they're by themselves, and they'll be around other people, but they mask up and they're careful.
Roll out.
I hope they're as careful as I think they're being.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I had something else. I just thought about it. Obviously watched Mando several times. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Mason got the Spider-Man Miles Morales game for Christmas. And I watched him play, I guess, probably 4 hours of it. A very, very good story.
Yeah. I mean, that other one was fucking great.
So, so this is like, it's like Peter goes to vacation, and here you go, Miles. Don't fuck it up. That's basically the premise.
I'm good.
But he if Mason did everything. He 100%ed that in like 10 hours.
Wow.
So it's very short. He's like, this probably should not have been a $60 game.
No.
This should have been a DLC.
Like, you should be able to beat a game in 10 hours, but to like 100% everything should be 30.
Even the way they rolled it out almost had a DLC vibe to it.
It was short. It's like, hey, the game's coming out. It's out.
Yeah.
But you do get to rescue 2 cats.
Oh, that counts. That counts for something.
Yeah. So he got, I don't know, what did he call it? It's a Japanese role-playing game that'll take like 100 hours to beat. I don't know what game it is, but
One of the Final Fantasies.
No, it's not a Final Fantasy game.
Is it I'm not gonna guess. You probably won't even know.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Persona.
Yeah, it is Persona.
There you go.
He likes those games.
Well done.
He played 4.
It's 5.
But did he play? Is that the name of the game, Persona 5, or is that the 5th?
There's both. It's both. It's both.
Persona 5? Does that make it Persona 10?
Because 4 has got Persona real popular in the U.S.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I get along with both y'all kids.
Yeah,
just fine.
Probably better than I do. I watched Mando, and then I watched the gallery, which is the making of.
I'm starting that. I plan on starting that today.
There's only one episode.
Well, they usually release them weekly.
I thought so, but this really plays like it's.
That's
it.
Or it's like they're doing, because they cover all the episodes in this, but they don't go deep into them. But it's like I think it's like an hour and some change.
Oh, maybe it's just a one-shot deal then.
It was really cool. So, your turn.
Yeah, I watched an anime.
Oh, by choice?
That's
Who
tricky.
picked it? Who picked it?
So Jaina picked it.
Okay. You let her recommend you some trash?
So I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Jaina was like when we were. First of all, I had probably the best Christmas of my life this year.
Oh, amazing. Fucking amazing.
Like it was just the vibe was right, the spirit was right. Like the everybody enjoyed their gifts and everybody enjoyed giving their gifts. And then we had a breakfast of which I didn't really partake in because I was still full from the night before. But mimosas, I did partake in those.
I have to stop you because I forgot to mention that my wife made a delicious quiche for breakfast on Christmas. It had cranberries in it, which I was a little bit about, but it fucking worked. I ate way too much of that.
Eggs and fruit can go together.
Sorry.
No worries. And then we did we did pizzas, and the reason why we did pizzas is I told Joe, I was like, we usually have a traditional dinner, and you guys had an untraditional dinner as well.
A lot of people did,
and like I tell you, like we'll probably never go back.
Yeah, it's fucking. Like, I hate doing things for the sake of doing it.
Everybody got in the kitchen. Everybody was involved in making it. Everybody's like testing the sauce. I think it needs more garlic. I think it needs an onion. I think you know what I mean. Like, oh yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Like,
that need the onion is not you.
Yeah, well, I see. So here's the thing. I like onion flavor. I don't like onion texture. So
onion powder.
So I immersion blend it.
Okay.
The fuck out of it. But having this, oh, that's good. Oh, that's working. All right, on the next one, let's try a little less sauce, a little heavy cheese, and just the fucking feeling was there, and just had an outstanding day. Sincerely, we
So let's say thank you, COVID.
Yeah,
for a great Christmas.
Thank you, COVID, for a great Christmas. But like we had when we were making the pizzas and we were talking and stuff, Jaina was showing me this piece of art that she's gotten really good.
Yeah, man.
recently.
She gave me a piece of art for Christmas, and it's my favorite character.
And it's like I want to nurture it, but I'm usually not interested much in it. But I want to, but I love it. Mm-hmm. I love her work, so I want to be like, yeah. So I was like, so tell me about these characters. So she started talking to me about it. It's an anime series.
Okay.
Promise Neverland.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. I haven't watched it, but it's supposed to be really good.
So she said, I'd like for you to watch it, and I was like, look,
it's a series though, isn't it?
I have a rule with series: 3 in, 3 out. I'll give you 3, but I want you to know, I'm no expert, but I've watched a lot of anime, and I think I know what it is that bothers me about it to the point that I'm not really interested in it. I'm more interested in someone telling me about it.
The stories themselves.
Yes. And she was like, okay, well, what tends to bother you about it? And I was like, character development and over emoting. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay.
You're fucked.
So we watched 3 episodes the next day, and she was like, so are we watching more? And I was like,
no.
I know you hate to hear it. I hate to say it. Hate to tell it. Hate to watch it. But no. And she was like, okay, can you tell me why? And I was like, sure. Character development and over-emoting. But the concept is cool.
Yep.
That's
what it is. The concepts are great.
Yeah. And so she had her feelings fucking crushed, which is like, I told her the day before, I was like, look,
She should have known.
I am going to tell you if I don't like this shit.
I mean,
but she just,
she knows that you've sat down with me to watch this shit.
Correct. But she like, it's just like, it's when you think something is so good, you know what I mean? For instance, it's like Pop Smoke. where I'm like, this is so good. Sit and listen to this. And then afterwards, you're like, huh? Huh? And somebody's like, not for me. And you're like, what? How? You know, it's just like when you love something so much and someone doesn't, it's a hard nut to swallow. And I get that. But, so to speak.
No, and I get it. That's why I stopped showing you anime. I'm like I know it's just not for you.
But let me tell you what I do appreciate about watching anime is I appreciate broadening my scope. Where I know more about it, I have a better understanding of it. It's
Whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
It's like listening to music you don't like.
Correct.
Just to know you don't like it.
Yeah, and to know, and to kind of know why, and to kind of like be able to have conversations about it. I hate when something comes up and I can't get involved. You know, and I'm like, oh, I watched Akira, guys. You know, like
yeah.
You know, like I like to be like, well, no. So I've seen this, and Joe's exposed me to this and this, and I like this is what I like about this. I still can't get into it because of this, and
you can be more sure of your opinion.
Yeah,
like you know you don't like it because you've seen all these things, and you know,
and yes,
you don't like it,
and my opinion becomes more well rounded.
Yeah, because I remember in the beginning you like. You couldn't articulate quite well why you don't like anime, and then now you kind of know why you don't like anime.
Yeah,
and not that they're bad per se story wise.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just not for you.
Correct. And it's not even that, like I think that their stories are great. I think that, and like this is something that's come up a bit with this next bit I'm getting ready to talk about involving my Christmas Day, about what it is that does it for me, and what I look for in media. Period. Music. Movies, television, whatever, is I like to feel. That's what I want. I want to feel. And because anime doesn't do a lot for me character-wise, I have a hard time feeling it. It's why I like The Last Jedi, because it makes me feel. It's why I like Civil War. It's, you know, the bit between Tony and Cap, because it makes me feel. You know, like, it's why I don't give a fuck about Deadpool, the movies, even though I enjoy the first one, because it doesn't make me feel anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because anime, for anime fans, is known to be feelsies. Like, people get the feels watching anime, but I think it takes, for your sensibility, it takes too long to get there. Like, usually it takes really long for you to because they're all series, right? To get to the feels part, but when the feels hit, it fucking hits hard.
Right.
But like, if you're aggravated getting there, you're not gonna feel it anyway.
The price of admission.
Exactly.
So that came up with Jane and I's discussion as well. Is the price of admission with anime? So which brings me to this next point. I watched Wonder Woman 84 on Christmas Day, and there seems to. So it's interesting because I've been staying off the internet.
It's mixed reviews.
It's
very
mixed.
mixed.
So a lot of people are speaking negatively about it in my circles, like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
However, when I go on and look at the reviews and stuff, it's not being shitted on. It's usually around a C average is where it ends up hitting, like on IMDb, on Rotten Tomatoes, on all of the big platforms.
So I mean, it makes sense, right? If half the people likes it and half the people don't like it, then...
Correct.
Because like the people whose opinion I value, I guess. Like not a tabloids per se, like people who review stuff. Like, that opinion I trust, a lot of them don't like it.
Right.
But they're not shitting on it, but they're just like, yeah, it's not good. I'm like, okay.
So let me tell you, I'll tell you that one of the things that it makes me feel. Like
maybe it's a personal thing.
So in the first act, I'll tell you what pissed me off about it was very lighthearted. And it was very like the opening scene, and I don't want to get spoilers, or
it's really new. Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
But like the opening scene, loved it. Great, perfect, good to go. Then it's a flashback sequence, and then it gets into the kind of story that we're gonna follow, and it's campy.
Okay,
you know, and I was like, "Fuck Marvel, fuck them," because this is what they've done to my dark and gritty.
Well, it's not Marvel's fault; it's the audience's fault.
Correct, but it's the audience. It's the audience liking something and then studios adopting it to fit the formula, right? Yeah. So I was like,
so it's more DC Studios' fault.
Warner Brothers, I think,
Brothers, yeah.
ultimately,
which makes sense.
But like, so I'm like, man, this is look what they've done to my dark and gritty universe. They've teddy beared it, literally, literally. But then the second act starts to take shape, and I was like, there's heart now. There's heart in this. And then there's this this scene towards the end that I won't spoil, but like she gives a speech, and the audience that she's giving it to is not necessarily who you would assume she's giving it to. And her speech and who she's giving it to, I fucking cried. Like, I fucking had an emotional response to it. My wife is bawling her eyes out. Jana said, "Can you pause it for a second?" We paused it. She's like, "This movie's making me feel things." That was her exact quote. You know, and then we got back into it, and like I was just like, see, that's what I'm looking for, is that satisfaction. And then there is a bonus scene that, once again, I won't spoil, but that bonus scene did for me what I think the twist or shock or surprise of the last episode of Mandalorian was intended to do for me.
Was that the old things are new?
That's Luke showing up.
No, I'm talking about, and I've already been spoiled by the end of the Wonder Woman. I'm saying it as vaguely as possible.
Yes,
Old
yes.
things are new?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was
Wait,
like...
Luke shows up? Fuck!
They said, put him in everything! He shows up and he defeats a bunch of Amazons.
With lightsaber.
And then... But like, I was just like... You know, it's how I felt after the end of it. And it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. And it's definitely lighter in tone than usual.
Well, I mean, when you cast a comedian for the villain role, or...
Yeah, but she's not really the She's a side effect of the villain. The villain is Maxwell Lord, who's a major player in DC. And like, so like...
Now, hang on, you said major player in DC. I'd like to say I'm a Surface fan of DC. I've never heard that name in my life.
So he's like...
Does he ever go to Gotham, Bobby?
I'm sure he's been to Gotham.
Because that's really what I know.
Because the thing is, like, I think one of his like biggest contributing factors is in Infinite Crisis, Wonder Woman kills him, and it's kind of a shot heard around the world. She kills him because she sees that it's the only way to kind of win.
Okay.
But she kills him, and he plays in Justice League, and he has like a power where it's kind of like a Scarlet Witch light. Like he can kind of make you think things are real that aren't necessarily real.
Gotcha.
But it's complicated. But like they have a cool way of doing it in here, and like anyway, it worked for me on a number of levels. Cheetah's in it, and she looks fucking great. And the moment that I saw her, I was like, Thundercats is feasible. We could do a Thundercats movie now. And she is very comedic in the first half, but by the time that she becomes who Cheetah is, it's the tone changes and we're off to the races.
Bridesmaids is out the window.
Correct.
Okay.
But anyway, I know that people aren't receiving it well, especially like but like I don't know why. And even when we went and looked on the reviews, when people were shitting on it, some of the things they said, I was like, yeah, okay, I agree with that. You know, it's slow, you know, but it's not trying to be. It's not trying to be. The first one is an action-packed. Mm-hmm. You don't really get any real action in the first Wonder Woman until halfway through the movie when she comes out in the battlefield. I think the first one is better, but I think that this one is really good too.
Bobby, does it give you faith that Patty Mayonnaise can do a decent Star Wars movie?
Patty Mayonnaise.
Whatever her name is.
Patty Jenkins, I think.
Patty Mayonnaise from Doug. You don't know Doug? The show Doug?
I know the show Doug, but I've never seen it. But I'm familiar with it.
His love interest is Patty Mayonnaise.
Is it really?
Yes.
I like that. I mean, yeah. Well, it depends. Right? I want to look at who the cinematographers were because that first one is definitely darker, like a lot darker tonally.
Well, I mean, they wanted to put this in the 80s so they could have all those bright colors.
Yeah, that's true.
And
they
talk
also,
about that in a lot of the interviews.
You know, people complained about Superman's suit's not bright blue enough, and you know, like, I mean, like that was a real thing. Yeah. You know, so it's like I don't know. I
mean, do you need a golden wings Hot Toys now?
I do not. I do not. However, it was great. In the history of the armor and the whole story involving the armor, fantastic.
Todd did a great job on it 3 months ago when it came out.
Yeah. But the chips looked great 6 months ago when it came out.
Sure. Dr. Pepper cans all over the place.
For sure. I got a Dr. Pepper education that I quite enjoyed on Christmas Eve.
I'm apparently a soda expert.
I think she asked if you worked.
Yes, in the soda industry because I knew. Let me share this tidbit of information.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper, it's a 7-Up is a company that is actually owned by Keurig, the coffee company. Dr. Pepper does not bottle their own product. They find distributors in each area. Where I grew up in Alabama, and specifically in Madison County where I grew up, the bottler, Buffalo Rock, for Pepsi, did not have the Dr. Pepper. It was Coke. So Coke had Dr. Pepper in the coolers. The next county over, that was a different bottler. It was always in the Pepsi cooler. It was very confusing to me, and I didn't realize that till I started traveling, Bobby, seeing the world, and the things I noticed. So up here, apparently, it's in it's with the Pepsi products, but different parts of the world.
And my mother-in-law was like, "Do you work in the soda industry?"
No, I said, "No, I'm just a fat kid who likes soda."
Yeah, you said. It was funny because the Alabama super came out. No, ma'am, I do not.
I was just a fat kid who likes soda.
So let's see what else. For Christmas, I actually got that Wonder Woman statue, and then Wonder Woman. While I watched the movie, it was all of it this is like shit in the universe was playing out. Yeah.
Nice.
So I love that. I love it's the Gotham Garage one. The handlebar is broken, but we repaired it. It's the only way we could get it for under fucking $1,000.
That's fine.
Correct.
I'm okay with shit like that.
Correct. It's a what I like. It's an invisible bike.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to ask, does she need a bicycle? I get the premise.
Yeah.
It being invisible is pretty cool.
And then the helmet sitting on the back seat. The reason why, so we've looked at it. I've been looking for the statue forever for an affordable, quote unquote fan price, bro. And all of the handlebars are broken, like all of them. So I was like, what the fuck? So then I realized, looking at the box, guess where the helmet's supposed to go?
On the handlebars.
It's supposed to hang off the handlebars, which is why they probably keep breaking. So I put mine firmly on the back seat. It's working out fine.
Yeah, they should have put a rod in there when they cast it, but that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah, no, not at all.
That stinks.
So I got that, and then I got an IOU. That's my first Christmas IOU. For Bombshell's Zatanna statue, which looks cool. She's magician and very 40s, 20s to 40s looks great. But I guess they bought it and it never shipped. The eBay guy disappeared. The whole bit. So I got an IOU for that. And then on my birthday, I wanted to say I got a couple things. I got vinyl because I'm trying to complete that wall. I'm trying to complete shit now, right? So I'm trying to complete that wall. I got vinyl for DMX's It's Dark and Hell is Hot, which is I'll tell you offhand. I know the other I want Outkast, ATL.
Was that? Hang on, really?
Yeah, I think it's a phenomenal album, top to bottom.
It's the only Southern hip hop that'll be represented.
That's true. And
is that DMX's first album?
Yes. And I want Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links. And I got and I received in vinyl Pop Smoke's Meet the. It's the only one he has on vinyl, I think. Or he might have the new album on vinyl, so I got that.
Speaking of Raekwon, I was just bored out of my mind. I've really tried not to do a lot this past week, just really chill. And of course, I have failed miserably doing that. I've been busy doing stuff, but I was just flipping the channels, and I didn't realize we actually there's a channel of MTV that just plays videos.
Oh, really?
Oh, great. So
it's MTV.
86.
MTV.
It's yeah.
Now offering music videos.
Is it Ice Cream? Is that the with Method Man on the hook?
Yes, that was his. That was the second single, third video.
The world we live in now. I don't know that that's acceptable anymore.
So
it's funny because I saw that and I'm like, how funny is that? And I was flipping through Instagram and Beezy Fresh had posted that in his stories, like something about it. I'm like, how funny! I just saw this for the first time. All the girls in their butter pecan t-shirts. I'm like, I don't know if this is okay anymore.
So the other thing I was thinking about along those same lines, watching Hannibal, is the Silence of the Lambs come out today with the serial killer, mentally challenged person being a trans person at heart and not knowing how to express that properly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that would hit a number of
but
lines.
I thought the point was that he wasn't. Hannibal said he wants to be something else, and he thinks he's a trans person, but he just wants to be something else, and he's not sure what it is.
Let me say this as a disclaimer. I don't think that he represents trans people one iota. But I think
obviously he was a crazy person.
Correct. But I think that it's trans adjacent enough in its presentation where it could find itself in some hot water in today's market.
I think it'll be fine because Buffalo Bill is the person in power, right? Mm-hmm. He's not being discriminated against, not being shat on.
Correct.
So I think in today's climate, it would be okay. The more, I don't know if it's okay, is that the guy fucking flinging jizz on Jodie Foster's face in the beginning. That's the part that I'm not sure if that's okay.
Yeah. I like
that's a good shot, by the way.
What was his name? Yeah. What was his name?
Got him.
Gary. I can't remember. But whatever. It sounds, and frankly, sir, sounds like something Gary would say. Not anymore.
Yeah.
So let me think. What else? Oh, I watched a ton of Christmas movies. Obviously, all the usual suspects. I watched The Ref with Jaina.
You didn't actually watch Usual Suspect though.
No.
I
But
need to watch it again.
watch The Ref with Jaina. Not a good idea. Tons of fucking sexual shit in that I don't realize without watching it with the fucking kid next to you.
But it's different when you're watching shit by yourself.
Yes, you don't even think about all the little bit. Like watching it with her, I'm like, fuck. All this stuff like when he's talking to the doctor and he's like, if she ever finishes anything she started, doctor, I'll cut my own dick off and stick it in my ear.
Oh boy.
Dude, that movie is so good. I know I talk about it every year on Nerd Rage, but like it's such a masterpiece. It doesn't get its respect in the Christmas movie echelon, but like when that
maybe because we can't watch it with a goddamn family.
Maybe when that old rich bitch opens up that little ass gift and she's like, socks, or there's like a little purse, like a little change purse, and it's like, oh look, thank you, Mary and Sherry and Gary and Jim. All these people put in on this little ass purse, and then like when they finally had enough of her shit because she's like super rich and like is like super frugal, and then like they're like you squeeze every fucking quarter till such and such, and then the one woman speaks up, she's like, it's the truth. Slipper socks, medium. It's so fucking good, man. Like the woman gives like a speech at dinner about like how some woman was burned at the stake as a witch and something. And this is like the Scandinavian meal that they're having for Christmas dinner.
Sounds delicious.
And this woman's like, really? Drugs and sex and women getting burned at the stake. I've never seen such a Christmas. and then later on at dinner, they're like a dessert. They're like, would anyone like coffee? And the old woman is like, is it real coffee or some sort of Scandinavian Christmas potion?
That's great,
dude. That shit is so good. And Dennis Leary's like impersonating their therapist. And she's like, I thought your therapist's name was Dr. Wong. And he's like, this is him. She's like, really? And he goes, my mom was Irish. And your father wasn't.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude, it's so good. And the only way we couldn't find Bad or Santa, like in my movies. Like, I don't know, I must have misplaced it somewhere.
Misplaced your DVD?
Yeah. Oh, so speaking of which, we had a technical issue. You might find this surprising on Christmas, and we've made a decision. We're buying Apple TVs for every fucking TV in the house.
Okay.
So we went to watch Wonder Woman 84. LG TVs that I think I have in my whatever I have that won't support HBO Max.
Okay.
They only support. Or that year, model, whatever, Amazon and Netflix.
Is that a software thing?
I mean, we have a Roku on every TV, which is, if you don't want to be an Apple snob, that's the.
So we looked it up, and guess who? I haven't gone into it deep enough, so to speak, but I have reason to believe that there is contracts between Netflix and Amazon specifically and some of these fucking manufacturers.
No doubt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
Like, dude, just assume
Dude,
that.
you click the guide button and the fucking shit shows up at the bottom. And HBO Max isn't new. It's too new because, I mean, Bobby, I know your TV isn't very old, but it's not from this year. Not since it's
old enough.
older than HBO Max.
For sure.
So is mine.
So
But you can just.
so then we can play it through PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right. Can't because my blinkers are blinking white and won't connect with my PlayStation.
Yo, blink.
My
Remotes?
my controllers.
Did you plug it in to
Yes.
resync it and it doesn't work?
Yes.
So your PlayStation's dead.
No, PlayStation's working just fine. Controllers aren't.
Controllers are dead. Why does this happen only to you?
I don't know.
Do you have a lot of magnets in your house? I mean, I do.
I
but
have a magnet student. What if it was Jaina?
They're in.
Her brain vibes just fucking everything up.
So
She's somewhere between Jean Grey and she's somewhere between Jean Grey and Finn from Star Wars, right? Somewhere in there.
so we said that
You're gonna see her do this one day. What was that? Nothing.
so in all fairness, we didn't get upset, which is good. That's a bonus for me. That's growth and development.
Working on you.
Working on me. But we did decide Apple TV for everything.
I mean, that's what Apples do. What they do.
Yeah.
So for the average person, you just get Apple everything, you should be fine.
So we brought an Apple TV down, got it to worked perfectly, started watching the movie, no problem. And I think that's
so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
hear you.
The whole your mileage may vary thing is so true between me and you. Like we're completely opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to technology.
I know. And that's my luck. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I forgot something too about it's technology related. So we have a sound bar in our living room and went to watch something, wanted to turn on the sound bar. Didn't work. Fuck, won't power on anything. Like, well, all right. We went out the day after Christmas and went to Best Buy, which was a complete nightmare.
Why would you do that?
Well, because we need a new. It wasn't busy really, but we need a new dishwasher because ours is off the rails. Not really. It's time for a new dishwasher. It's making a lot of racket. So Kelly wanted to look at that, and I was like, well, I'm looking at sound bars, and I haven't shopped at retail for anything, but you couldn't tell how much anything was. Long story short, we bought a sound bar, took it home. I think it was an LG brand. Worst sound I've heard. It was worse than a factory radio in an 86 Honda. It was bad. And then we figured out that somebody had actually unplugged the other sound bar. So
That didn't do you any favors.
So it works fine. So we boxed the other one up and are going to take it back to Best Buy. But it sounded awful. It just had. You know what I did for a test? The seismic charge from Mandalorian, because that's such a.
I that one from episode 2 prior to that has always been my test.
You
sequence.
couldn't even. It was like half of it was missing. You couldn't hear it on this new soundbar.
Right.
Fuck it. We put the new one in. Sounds great. Okay. And we have I think Polk brand. I think it may be the same thing you've got in the kitchen.
Yeah, I have very mixed feelings about Polk, but
Well, I don't have any feelings other than it works. So.
which is
I
great.
don't have any opinion on
So
it.
I blew out. We have I think 3 Polk products. It's a long story, but we knew someone that worked for him and got us pretty much at cost. And we blew the speakers out of 2 of them, and the third one I think the kids use.
Bobby, it's a Brooklyn drill music.
So to be
You need
fair,
to relax.
In my defense, it was prior to Brooklyn Drill. In my defense,
Okay.
But couple more things real quick. My wife came down on the 27th and on my birthday and helped me hang some things that I don't usually have the patience to do. You know, and so like hung a couple of things. Like, you know, throughout the year I get little stuff that I like. You know, I want hung up, but I don't really have a place. So we organized all that. I did 3 dioramas while I've been off. I did the Battle of Christophsis for the Clone Wars. I did.
That's Chris with the K, by the way.
I did. Which
Mandalorian.
Mandalore, the Mandalore throne room from Clone Wars. Which I'm pretty proud of how that turned out. And was able to put your gift that you gave me, the weighted things, in service twice.
Spoilers. Y'all got the same gift.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's why it's so heavy.
That's okay.
That's why it's so happy.
I will tell
what is in this little box
I will
that's so
tell
heavy?
you, I opened Bobby's and wiped all the Cosmoline off because I just knew I needed to. But yours are still wrapped in the plastic, and I figured you can handle
Yes,
it.
I can handle that.
I love you, Bobby.
Yeah. And then what was the other? I did a third one, right?
Yeah.
Mandalore, Christophsis, and it's a prequel one. Oh, Jedi Temple entryway into the Jedi Temple. And I'd like to get one more done before I go back to work, since I'm going to have a couple extra
Day off, yeah.
extra things.
There you go.
Sneak her in. And then the other thing I wanted to say before we move on to Mandalorian is 2 weeks ago when we met, I asked you guys, what is this show? And I asked you guys to think about it.
Yeah,
Do you have anything?
nothing new. I've been thinking about it. What the fuck is he talking about?
I think it's 3 middle-aged guys with different backgrounds and perspectives talking about.
There's 2 middle-aged guy and 1 not yet middle-aged guy.
Hold on to dear life for it, Joe.
I got 10 more months.
Talking about their lives and perspectives, and nerd culture intersects with that.
So
That's and honestly,
I mean, that's
I know
it is
you
what
said
it
to
is.
think about it, and I really didn't, but that's kind of what I thought of.
I want to give a shout out to Deacon, Deakon on YouTube.
With a K.
And I think, with a K.
Appreciate the K, bro.
And I'm guessing he's also passive bear. But on Twitter,
A passive bear?
I don't know if he is a passive bear, but I think his handle on Twitter might be passive bear, because he said
It can mean so many things.
he commented on
It's a deep cut.
Tank Top Tiger episode and said,
Oh, it's anime.
there were 2 questions you forgot passive bears. So he said this instantly, pretty much, when that episode went out. He said lifestyle. And I think that is what it is. It's a lifestyle show, but it's a very specific lifestyle of 2 middle-aged men and 1 middle-aged men adjacent gentlemen with families or family adjacent
Exactly.
That
I'm just adjacent part.
that are
I'm
also
white adjacent.
that are also
Yellow is right next to white, right?
all right. I don't see a color, Joe, so you'd have to let me know. But like that are also super into collecting and nerd shit and pop culture and other things, and they are talking about their lives as those things. I think it is a lifestyle show. I just don't think there are many people that address it the same way, because I think many things.
It's a specific lifestyle. That's why.
Yes, and it's
A niche, not a niche, but like not the.
like, I don't think that a lot of people get personal. Like, I listen to nerd podcasts, but like, they don't talk about like their families or problems with their fucking delivery people, or what I mean.
Right.
Like speaking of which, I got my wife a sink. Let that sink in for
For the kitchen?
yes,
Bobby, that's deep.
Is it though?
and
Isn't it a pain in the ass to install?
yeah, so I paid for that because I knew I was not going to do it.
You have to lift the whole countertop up, don't you?
No, you don't.
Drop in.
It's a drop in.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but I had to hook it. It had to be hooked up to the garbage. I bought a new garbage disposal, just whole new setup. But it has changed my life. It's because my sink is a dual sink. Yours is.
I hate it.
I hate it too.
I just give me a big old sink.
So I always wanted a dual sink, because like I had a little
'Cause
sink.
it's fancy?
I had a little sink growing up.
Oh.
So I was like, when I would see people with dual sinks, I'd be like, one to dry and one to whoa. And then I got him and I was like, fuck this.
It's just
Yeah.
in the way.
It's great. It's a dual sink size.
Yeah.
That's just
One
the sink.
yep.
It's great.
So
That's
we
the
have
perfect.
to, yeah.
It's like a shop sink.
But I'll tell you,
I have one of those too.
the guy who installed it didn't do a great job cleaning it, in my opinion. That like if I were doing his work, which I didn't, I paid for it. I wouldn't like. There was like trash on the ground. There's like food shit. I got news for you. Your sink pipes stink, super bad.
Oh, yeah,
they
for
smell.
sure.
They smell like halitosis.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm working on a diorama, the Jedi Temple one, while he's there. And part of me was at first embarrassed because I use these like McFarlane toys for statues, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna think my toys are shitty." And then
This guy doesn't know and or care.
and then in my head I was like, he would think all my toys are shitty, so it doesn't matter that it's just these 3 McFarlane ones that are up here. And then when he was gone and left and everything, Jaina came in and was like, I didn't want to be in here. It was awkward. And I was like, I get it. And then like she was like sitting there looking at my diorama that I've been working on. And you could tell that she was thinking about like, you did this while he was here, you know. And I just looked at him, and I looked at her, and I said, "How cool do you think he thinks I am based on this good work here? How cool."
I was in this guy's house today. He was building some fucking shit for his dolls on a fucking kitchen table.
So yeah, that was that. So Mandalorian. Joe, catch us up. You've watched it all now.
Yeah, I watched it all in like one sitting.
So, aside from the last episode, what are your thoughts generally about it?
I love it. I fucking love it.
Okay.
Anything?
Is that your deep take?
Hang on, let's rewind. That you fell out of. You were deep in Star Wars when season 1 was on. You were on the YouTubes and digging and finding out measurements of ships and shit.
Yeah.
The cliffhanger fucked you up.
Me up. Like I'm still not the same. I'm still not the same. My love for that, like from that period on, has not come back the same way.
Okay.
I like it. I like it more than I used to before all that. But it's like
okay. I just wanted to get a point of reference.
It left a sour taste, but that was my fault. I should have known myself better. But they didn't do that for the first fucking 8 episodes, so I wasn't expecting that either. And I watched your review video. Bobby.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I like it more than he does.
Yeah. Well, I think most people do.
And I think I don't know, maybe part of the complaints that you have about how some episodes don't matter as much, or like he's just off doing characters doing things.
Yeah.
Or, like I think part of watching it in one go mitigates that for me, because like it doesn't feel like I'm waiting. I waited a week for this non mattering episode, and I have to wait a whole other week for something that matters. For me, it's just like, it's just part of the story.
I'm going to tell you, if I were not like, let's say this was,
oh, they're all gone.
Yeah, all my independent stuff is gone.
You point just like up there.
Let's say this was Savage Dragon, right? Okay. This was a Savage Dragon show, which has a special place on the show anyway. But if this was a show about the Savage Dragon and I was able to binge it, by the second episode, I would stop.
Okay.
So, like, while I think there's merit to what you're saying, I think that so many non-mattering episodes back to back would, if it wasn't Star Wars, would have prevented me from getting any further into it anyway.
I think it's also an expectations thing. I wasn't like what matters to you is not the same as what matters to everybody else, right? Like I'm perfectly fine watching characters do things because that's a show to me. Like any show you watch is, I mean, you boil it down to it, it's fucking characters doing shit. But what you want is like the movement of the greater universe, and like I'm like I like that, but I don't need it.
And I also want it to mean something to me. Like I want it to resonate with me. I want to feel it. I want to feel it, and I don't feel anything.
Yeah, but did you watch like you don't? It's not that with every fucking piece of media we enjoy consuming, right? What that show with the awkward comedy, does it make you feel shit, or is it just funny?
Which one? Oh, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it makes me feel
funny,
anything,
right?
but I super relate to it, so I do personalize it because I see myself in that character. You know, where like I have these little fucking. Little nuances, you know, but that I can't get over.
Yeah,
you know.
So like for me, it's like I think for a lot of people too that they're not looking for what you're looking for.
And I don't think I consume comedy the same way, right? Like because my intention with comedy is all I want to do is laugh. I think with Star Wars, I do want to feel.
That's the thing. Like with sci-fi, I guess, and fantasy in general, like when you watch media or read media or anything, like you do want to feel something. It's part of why stories are important to humans, and you might or might not learn something from it even.
right.
But as a piece of entertainment, like I want to be entertained. I want to be intrigued, interested. And sometimes just fucking visually interesting things is interesting.
I think that for me is a big part of it, and I super appreciate the creativity it takes to create Star Wars. And as I've become more of a creator, I've gotten more into that. Looking at
the world
and paying more attention to the background and how do they do that, and knowing about the volume, the way they film this now, which apparently it's even bigger this year. It's like 120 feet wide. just knowing, looking at how they do that, and it's really cool to see the craftsmanship for me. And like Ahsoka's lightsabers, they're lit up sticks. They're not just all CG.
Yeah.
So
they do that for lighting effect.
Same for 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, but so yeah.
Post prequels, that's been their way of doing it, so that the light up is real.
But like world building is like, as for me, and media for me is very important. Just like the one manga artist I like, Nihi, with Knights of Sidonians and stuff. Like his stories might not be.
I'm pretty sure that's a Michael Jackson ad lib.
Man, I left it alone. I had it and I left it alone.
Like his stories might not be like groundbreaking or nothing, but the way he creates the world, how like it feels so deep, so to speak. Like wow, that's he in his mind for sure, and in this piece of media is a whole world in there, and that is enough for me to get lost in it.
Yeah. See, I don't, and also I think that
So we like different things.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we do, but I think we like a lot of the same things, but for different reasons.
Yes,
that too.
Yeah.
But like visually interesting things, right? Because this has been something I've been wrestling with this show specifically, where I think I don't care.
I mean, we've known that, Bobby.
Yeah, but I mean, so like, yes and no though, right? Because like, I think that the Anakin Obi-Wan fight is visually interesting, and I really enjoy that, but it's got this other shit in the sauce. I think when something is purely visually interesting is when I don't need it, and I also don't think I need to be entertained.
Oh, I do.
Me personally, and I don't mean for media. I mean generally. Like I think that like yesterday, Laura and I were sitting down to do this podcast, this bonus one that she allows me to do for my birthday.
Bless up.
And I'm sitting there laughing to myself. And she's like, "What's so funny?" And I was like, "I'm going to call this episode Bobby Boogie Bob Birthday Boy Bonus." And I think because I live in that world, I'm always entertained.
Right.
So I don't need it. I'm up for it. It's like pizza. Let's take pizza.
It's always pizza.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm not mad.
No, me either.
Mad at all.
It's a good one. It's a good one though. Or it could work with anything. Like I was gonna go with the steak ketchup thing, but I won't. But like I like it with Parmesan, oregano and red pepper flakes on top. But I don't need it. I'm gonna enjoy this pizza with or without that shit.
Plain cheese is fine.
Yeah, it doesn't make or break, but I like it, and I think that's how it is for visually interesting stuff. I'm up for it. I'd prefer it, but it's not what I need. If that makes any sense. And I don't knock anybody that does. There's a whole, action movies are basically that.
Sports is that. Sports highlight reels is that.
Yes, 100%. 100%. But like I just think that I'm already got one hand tied behind my back with media when it is based on that. Because like I really like the third episode, the Bo-Katan episode.
Joe, what was your favorite episode from this season?
I have to think about it because I watched it on one go.
Right, it is hard to, like we've said, because the way you.
It's one big story for me. I remember everything, but like to separate one story out from the rest.
Well, what? Okay.
Well, I like the Bill Burr episode is my favorite.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. I really like that episode also.
I like that character,
but it made me feel.
And like what you said in your thing about it took too long for Mandalorian's character development. For me, it's a good thing. It's necessary. It's taking him.
I'm afraid it isn't necessary.
It's taking him 15 episodes to realize something about himself.
You see, boys?
And that is part of his character. When you're raising a cult, it takes you that long and that much more life experience to fucking try and start a big out of it.
Yeah.
It's like if episode 3 he takes off his helmet, it's not the same as episode fucking 16 he's taking off his helmet.
I agree. However, I think
and somebody to
he had
tell him
already
about himself.
So yeah, but I think that could have. I mean, it doesn't ultimately matter at this point. But I think that could have happened far earlier. If let's say that's episode 12, that could have happened at episode 9.
For me, it's not. For me, it makes more sense.
You weren't watching that shit being like, I need 4 more episodes before we take the helmet off.
No, but I wasn't sure if or when he would ever.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is I don't think it would have been a deal breaker. I think that
the fact that it happens basically at season finale. it matters to me.
Yeah.
Basically, like he like this episode before the season finale, he's starting, his wheels are turning. It's like, is it the helmet or is it your face? And then and then he admitted to himself that the kid matters to him more than anything else.
Yeah, but he had
And
already
that makes me feel.
he had already admitted that before the episode's finale, and he took the helmet off before the episode's finale.
He did, but he had to do that to
For
get to
the kid.
To the kid.
When he was
Correct.
sitting here, he was wrestling himself like,
Correct. I'm just putting it. I'm just going back to the point of it had to be at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, if the fact that it's at the finale, and I'm saying, well, it's not at the finale. So then if it's the episode before the finale, if the finale is episode 12, I don't know the numbers, but if
it was
16,
8 and 8, so it's
16.
16. 15 is the one with
15,
Bill Burr.
yeah.
Right. So if it happened in episode 15 and felt good, then it didn't need to happen in episode 16, obviously, and therefore couldn't have happened in episode 12.
because it ended.
But it didn't. You had a whole nother episode after that.
It's different. Do you know what I mean? Like at the very end, like
The end of the season?
at the end of the season
finale?
the season finale, when he chose to take his helmet off in front of everybody for the kid, that's a different situation. When
It is.
like he's like, I'm done with this, basically to me. And then the story as we know it, the season, right? It could be the series. It's over.
It could be. I told
it's more-
Kelly that when we got done. I said that
could end right there.
it could be done.
That's what I was talking about Hannibal.
could be done.
This is between arcs because there's shit unresolved, but like this arc is resolved.
So
I agree with you there.
So you're very much more pleased with the ending for season 2 than the season 1?
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm okay with season 1 too because that was an end of an arc. Also,
Yeah.
but this really completes the whole kid arc.
It does.
which starts with episode 1.
It does.
That kid's coming back.
Right. Obviously,
there's
I mean,
no- there's no doubt.
That kid's coming back.
with this series.
Right.
But like
That kid's coming back in this series.
him taking his helmet off, and then there's at the very end, and then there's no more episodes to look forward to. Like, I don't know how to put it in words, but it's more impactful than he did it in 12, and he just starts taking off his helmet now. We're just watching the show with him without his helmet on now. It's not the same.
They made it mean a lot more to, in my opinion. So he takes
Right.
he takes it off, when they're in the Imperial stronghold.
Yes. Because he had to.
Because he had to.
But then he killed everybody, other than Bill Burr.
And then Bill Burr says, "I never saw your face," and he hands him back the helmet.
Yep.
Well,
That was good shit.
and maybe also
It's a fucking great episode.
that. Yeah, I agree. I love that episode.
The best
also.
line from that is, "You see, boys, everybody thinks they want freedom, but what they really want is order."
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that is right.
Yeah.
Think about what's going on right now.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Well, so like that's the thing. I mean that goes back to episode 3.
No, what's going on right now where we live.
I know. But what I'm saying is that theme
Mm-hmm.
goes back to episode 3.
So hang on, just so I'm clear.
This is how freedom dies with
Right.
thunderous applause.
Right, okay, because we're saying episode and episode.
I'm
so.
sorry.
No. I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's-
I think
that's
they call
fucking
them.
valid.
I think they
Yeah.
call them chapters.
Chapters. You're right. You're
Just
right.
for
when
when you
for
get into
clarification,
when you
you're
get into
100%,
lower
you're
numbers.
100% right. You're 100% right.
Past
But, like,
9, yeah.
The Patriot Act is that.
Mm-hmm.
But like true freedom is anarchy, and most people don't actually want anarchy.
Right. There is a.
I mean, look
It's
at this year.
It's a fine line to it.
there's
yeah.
a fine line to it.
It's like I don't want an HOA, but I know it's necessary because I don't wanna
Otherwise, fucking Jim will put the fucking washer and dryer out in the front
exactly.
yard. But
like back in Alabama, where he's from.
But like I think that maybe even if we took the episodes that had meaning to that character and just tied them together, then maybe I would have felt like you know what I mean, like if we took out the spider episode and then the episode before it and then a lot of the shit that like was
Just
just
spiders are fucking. Ugh.
yeah, for sure. But if we took out some of the stuff that didn't tie in as much, that was just a freak of the week type of episode, then maybe it would have had more meaning to me because we would have just gotten to it quicker, or we would have replaced those episodes with stuff that was more meaningful about that character, and then it would have been more rewarding for me. I get, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to go out on a record and say I can't express enough how much I love that people
Oh, yeah,
love
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and you like it enough.
yeah, I
Star
like,
Wars.
Yeah, but like I just like
If it's nothing else, this show's a device to get people to watch Star Wars. And I'll give you my fucking parents watch this show.
Laura's
And they've
parents watch
never
this
been
show.
hardcore into Star Wars.
Laura's
and
parents
they
fucking
ask me
watch
a lot of dumb questions.
Did-
Hang on, I need to read the conversation with my father. Let me find
like
it
your
real quick.
father before you.
I have to remember because depending on the day, I'll give you either a Facebook message or a tweet or a text from him. Let's see here. So
This is like text with Robert.
this was December 18th. What else has the girl who plays Bo-Katan been on? This is 3 questions in one. Who is the Jedi?
Who is the Jedi?
Why did Ahsoka say there weren't many Jedi left? So I responded with, she's been in lots of stuff. Not sure if you watched Longmire, which is a Western TV show that I think they watch. She was in that. The Jedi is Luke Skywalker. You didn't catch that one. And Ahsoka said that because of Order 66. Next text. Luke, ? Order 66, ? Wikipedia link, Luke Skywalker. Wikipedia link, Order 6. He just watched them this year. All of them.
He wasn't paying attention then.
And I said, does that help? Yes. Still watching Clone Wars, so I haven't gotten to 66 yet.
Yeah.
I said, not in Clone Wars. End of episode 3, when all the clones turned on them and the Jedi and killed most of them. He said, "Damn, this is complicated."
It's a timeline. You just need to know what show and movie takes place.
Kelly
where.
has a hand-drawn timeline. She's done because she's so
to keep track of it.
I mean, it's not that. I guess for us who's in it, it's not that hard to keep track of what happens when.
Yeah.
Due to big.
But I mean,
you don't have to know BBY for that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, getting people to love Star Wars that aren't necessary. I mean, your in-laws,
it's making me
my
want to buy
parents.
Star Wars stuff, and I never, as much as I like Star Wars or even love Star Wars, only thing I've ever bought is a Asajj Ventress statue, which is final production images coming out soon.
Nice.
But I want to say that, like, I mean, I like life better when most people are happy with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because I know what life is like, and when I say most people, I mean in my age bracket. Because I know what life is like when it's not that, and I don't find that enjoyable. This is the beach for me. This is the beach for me.
I don't,
where I'm just like, I get frustrated because I don't see why people enjoy it as much as they do, but also simultaneously happy that they get to.
I went past that point with Deadpool. Like, I was that way. Like, Deadpool was more of a niche character. I was very big fan when he was niche, and I was like, we need more Deadpool. Like, I don't understand. Nobody knows this character. And then he was popular, and it's, I'm where you are with Star Wars. I don't like this Deadpool that much, but I'm glad everybody loves it.
Because they had to make the changes to him in order to make him palatable for a wider audience.
And then after a while, I'm like, I don't like Deadpool anymore. I don't like you people who likes Deadpool. So I hope you don't get to that.
I hope I don't either. I hope I don't either.
Like you, yeah. So I know what the point you're at, and maybe I'm just more.
I think the difference is there's a
picky.
lot more Star Wars to pick and choose what you like than there's Deadpool's a guy with a red mask on.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's too much. There's a lot of side series and comics, and they're all bad. It's all.
Yeah.
But like, I just like it. So let's do the final episode, because I feel like we've said, like, I wish I liked it more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I wish I liked it more because I liked it tremendously.
And I like I said, a 72% is a passing grade.
A C.
You know what I mean?
Just all kidding aside, the number system really frustrates me. When I listen to it, I'm like,
so I went
7 out of 10 is a C.
I went on a 100% scale here. That's why I said a 72.
Just give me a letter grade, please. Letter grade is
a C minus.
Everyone
can I do C minus?
Yeah.
Is that for the last episode or the whole thing?
The whole thing. So when I reviewed it, I took all of the numbers. The same thing I did for the first one. Added them up, divided it by 8. 72.6, I think is what it was.
C minus.
C minus. Which is kind of how I feel about it.
For me, it's a B plus.
I'm right there with you, Joe. B plus.
It's not A, but it's a B plus.
There's some A moments. You know,
yes, exactly.
I'll tell you a funny story. So, Mason's girlfriend has never seen any Star Wars and doesn't care to. Mm-hmm. She was at the house. I said, Jen, Star Wars is really good. I said, let me rephrase that. Star Wars has some really good moments. Because I think somebody that's never seen Star Wars, there's going to be some of it. It's like, what? This is dumb.
I mean, the prequels. I mean, like, you know, I love the prequels.
I do too.
But the prequels kind of only work because you're already vested.
Right.
You know, like episode 1 is
I think if you
really hard watch. I think if that's your first introduction to Star Wars.
If you've never seen any Star Wars movies and you watch episode 1, you're probably like, this is goofy as shit.
Yeah.
The dude with the horns is cool.
They let you know specifically.
Yeah.
In case you're curious.
Raising.
Yeah.
This is pop racing.
Yeah, let's try spinning. That's a good trick.
It's rough. It's rough, you know, but you like you give a fuck because you know what the Jedi are. It's cool to see them. You know who Anakin is. It's great to see him. You know, like, you've heard about the Sith. You haven't really.
I mean, I saw that movie. I probably saw that 5 or 6 times in the theater. I
saw it 12 times.
And I had a horrible bootleg, like awful bootleg, that I watched till it broke.
It's still the movie I've seen the most in the theater, and I'll probably die with that the way fucking COVID's going.
Jesus. It's hard to take out which. I had this discussion watching Hannibal the other day when they're like, all right, witnesses or what? Jury strike death from the record. Like you never heard. I'm like that doesn't fucking work. I know that's a thing in life and in law and TV shows we watch, but like you can't fucking unhear something.
Yeah, you can't unhear something.
And so we can't watch newer Star Wars stuff like Mandalorian without our prior knowledge into it. Like your dad has all these questions. Like for me, fucking Bo-Katan means a lot more to me than these motherfuckers who hasn't watched Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, and I
like that when that person showed up and Ahsoka showed up, like, oh shit.
And I'll tell you, the coolest part of this to me is that they're able to take these characters that appeared, as animated characters and actually give them a live screen presence. Hey, Bo-Katan's, Katie Sackhoff's playing the voice actor.
She's the voice actor, yeah.
And she says the line she says to Boba, "I've heard your voice thousands of times." I'm like, fuck, because you don't realize what seeing him and knowing what he truly is.
Yeah,
God, it's like giving me chills thinking about like what they've been through.
Yeah, that's great.
And then Boba says, "And it may be the last one you ever hear."
She's the highlight for me of this. Her and Bill Burr are the highlight to me of this season.
Where was the dude Mandalorian? Was he in the pisser? Then like, what the fuck? You left me again? There. He wasn't.
No, he was sitting watching.
What?
He was standing off to the side.
Oh, was that where he was?
Yeah.
He was reading the menu.
Let me ask you. So we did a best episode with best chapter.
Yeah, my favorite one
is the Bill Burr one,
and I'll tell you,
it's mine too. I think ultimately looking at it, because I think it's the most impactful to this show.
And I think the dialogue that they have in the truck is some of the most powerful Star Wars dialogue because
in
it's
real life
not
too.
Right. It's
For
not
real life,
the world's
right.
not black and white. It's shades of gray.
Right.
And I've said that, like what planet they were on. Those people are. Life sucks for them no matter who's in charge.
Yep.
Same on. I think the majority of the systems.
On the outer realm, at least.
And let's just plug it into where we are now.
Because I think that's what they were showing on Can't Bite, is at the same time there's a group of people that the war has no impact on their life whatsoever. They're still balling like there's no tomorrow and probably have been the entire course of the war.
Right.
I mean, they showed that on Tatooine, too, with that place, like, as soon as the Empire's down, everyone's cheering, and these other motherfuckers rode the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
The miners,
and that's,
whatever.
I mean, look, just put it into real life. Yeah, we're going to have a new president in January. To middle America, does that really fucking matter?
I mean, to us, does it matter, really?
No, it's not.
That's why I always
something
say to
going to
people,
change? It might change our tax bracket, but that's it. That's all that's going to change.
Like, life goes on.
Life goes on.
When people get real hot and heated to me about political something, I'm like, has your life really changed that much in general in the last fucking 20 years, depending on who's the president? Not to us, maybe
based
to
on
other people.
anybody's decisions but your own.
Yeah.
And also in that episode with the Billboard, it's not just the dialogue and him. It's like the fact that they rolled up after all the bombs and people were cheering, and it's like, I never felt like I want to salute a stormtrooper, and everyone was like, your point of view inadvertently shifts to that of the stormtroopers. Like, they're happy, the boys made it home, they brought the truck, and then everyone, there was camaraderie, and it's like, oh, these two guys are just fucking dudes too.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me about that episode is Bill Burr gets out of the truck with his helmet off, and it's very like, well, you're the only one with your helmet off. Is that not weird?
He wasn't. It was other people.
Well, they were like head on hard hats and shit, but all the people wearing his uniform, none of them had their helmet off. I don't know. I just found that
Krista
odd.
said the same thing. I'm like, no, look, there's people without.
But I think it's just
they should have just thrown it out the window.
That's an audience tool thing.
I know. I know exactly what it is, but
but what about were least enjoyable?
Well, the lizard egg episode. Yeah. And not that I don't like it. That off the top of my head,
there's got to be one.
Yes, and there are parts of the episode I like, but then overall, I don't like Baby Yoda. I'll always be Baby Yoda to me.
Yeah,
I'm
too.
fine with him eating the eggs initially, but then when he kept eating the eggs, I'm like, that just shows you to be a sociopath, and that's not okay. Because he was eating the eggs originally because it was a jar of eggs, right? But then he sees the lady taking care and everyone's protecting the eggs, and then he fucking went to eat another egg anyway. That breaks something for me.
Yes, but we don't know. I mean, I get the impression that even though he's 50-some years old, that his mind state is still that.
No, but he understands certain things. Obviously, he's a toddler, but I feel like he understands certain. He should understand enough not to keep eating the eggs.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's the last egg that threw it over the top. Everything else, the first 3 or 5 is fine. It's the last
28.
last one after everything that one threw it over for me.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me only because I have kids and I'm like, they would fucking they don't think you know, like they would roll over on the nanny, granny, two panty, fanny, and the king of Siamese if they fucking if they could get one extra cookie. You know?
That's maybe because me not having kids thing. I don't connect with that.
Yeah, I don't know that I can pick an episode that I like the least. It's hard to say. I mean, I enjoyed every one of them.
Me too.
And
I even like that episode when, like, at the end when the fucking X-Wing fight. Oh, you're the guy that did this, and this. All right, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna help you.
Am I under arrest? You should be, but these are trying times.
So like that makes moments like that makes it so like it's not a bad episode for me. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there's a difference in conversation between what is the bad episode and what episode did you enjoy the least.
That's what. Yeah, that's enjoyed. I don't think there was any bad episodes for me.
I mean,
I can watch any of those episodes.
I think the first two are bad. And I think
which are the first two?
The
dragon,
the egg, and the spiders are the first two. Yeah,
dragon.
I'm sorry, the dragon and
the
then
boba
the
armor,
egg, and then the spiders.
You didn't like the boba armor, dragon, sand people.
I mean,
I know you don't like the sand people talk.
There's some cool moments, but I'll never watch it.
For me,
again.
it's like a world building thing. You know,
what do you think?
I know more about Tatooine now.
I don't.
What do you think?
It's a third fucking city that no one ever talks about.
I mean, I imagine there was other cities.
What do you think the music of the native Tatooiner sounds like? You think they got some?
Didgeridoos.
I think it's very.
You think somebody's on there spitting?
No.
Ain't no hot fire.
It is fire.
I think it's not a percussion. Sticks.
I don't like those two episodes, and I'm trying to think. I think there's one more that rubs me the wrong, or I just like come on, enough. But like those first two, I think that you could eliminate those first two, and nothing about this really changes.
I like Boba Fett.
Oh, that's it. The Boba Fett kung fu fighting in the desert.
I love it. Fucking love it.
That is so the one that has to do with the plot of the show that I like the least is that one. The one that has not a whole lot to do with the plot that I like the least is the spider one.
Okay, so like two things I like about it. So one is like in the original Boba Fett, the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy, fucking did shit and got knocked into the pit. This one's like, oh yeah, he's old now and fucked up and he's fucking shit up. So like it redeems him somewhat for the overall things. Like yeah, Boba Fett is a badass. Okay. Mm-hmm. Two is like he clarifies what him and his father is. His dad was a foundling. Yep. He left. He's not a Mandalorian, but he has claim to the armor. And here's his chain code, which I think shows up.
Translates to something real. But it also tells the story.
It comes from a different. I think I've seen that in other media. I don't know if it's a comic book.
The chain code.
Yeah, the chain code, like that specifically, like from his. Armor.
Open Seasons, I think. The Jango.
So it's like that's my dad. That's whoever else before, and this is me. And now you see that armors are passed on, and that is, you don't have to guess, that is Jango's armor.
So that's what I like about that episode. Is that it's no longer a discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it clarifies that.
It's like
that's what Star Wars does. They keep making new things to clarify old things. It's that's like what Rogue One did, right?
It's like I tell my kids, like asked and answered.
Yes.
You know, like you know, can I have a cookie? No. But I really want a cookie. Asked and answered. Like we don't need to discuss it anymore.
Yeah. Like I know, like for you, probably never mattered that much, but for people like me, it matters. Like
what's
I
that?
like
no,
clear, concise thing.
No. I was always like. It always mattered to me whether or not they were Mandalorians, and the kind of discrepancies about it all like is like one of those things where it's like, man, I wish there was a fucking answer to this, and I'm happy that there's an answer to it. So I do appreciate that as well. It's just, you know, I don't give a fuck about the episode, and I didn't enjoy watching the episode. It felt painful for me to watch that particular episode.
So you don't like the way Robert Rodriguez directed that?
No, and I think that I don't know, because I like Robert Rodriguez in general, but I think that also the fact that he was brought in the 9th inning and they kind of just had to make it work.
He's directing the Boba Show.
Correct. No doubt in my mind. But like I think the fact that he was brought in, he didn't get time to work on this. Like the Bo-Katan episode, which is my favorite, was like not meaningful to the story. Meaningful to the story is the Bill Burr. Personal favorite, unrelated to the story, is the Bo-Katan episode. Was done by Howard's daughter, and she worked on that for a year. This guy Rodriguez came in and just had to pick up the pieces real quick and get to work because the other dude...
Watch the gallery thing, I think.
Because it was supposed to be done by the person who's doing Obi-Wan, and he had to leave.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It didn't come across that way on that. The gallery
I'll have to watch it. That
out.
was something that came out that like It was supposed to be done, but they were busy. Production on Kenobi got moved up. That person had to leave, and then they had to find somebody to fill the spot.
Do you guys think that the whole stink about him being upset about having to wear the helmet was just a false flag to generate hype about the show?
Oh, maybe? I don't know.
Remember,
it never mattered to me always.
Before it came on, it was very...
I think it's made up.
It's that woman.
Right, but do you think they planted that for her to say that? So she'd look like a clown, but at the same time, it would get people talking.
Maybe. That'd be cool. That'd be cool in a way if they did. However, she knows, because she has experience doing it, that negative shit about Star Wars goes through the roof.
Sure.
You know, she did it with Episode 8. She's told me 3 times now that Kathy Kennedy's fired.
It's obviously not happening.
So, like, I go to my Black Series video. I have one Star Wars video that's super successful.
You're negative.
And it's in Black Series failures. You know what I mean?
It is interesting to note that none of the new shows that are coming out are set post 789 or anything to do with 789. Other than they're all kind of bridging something.
It kind of makes sense, though. Like, there's a huge gap between 6 and 7.
Sure.
There's so much to explore there.
Right. But there's nothing to do with any of those.
And, like, there's... I mean, you can go after 9, but who cares at this point?
Bad Batch is something I'm excited about. And Acolyte. I really want to see Acolyte. That's the one. Just because I want something new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
something old.
Something borrowed. Something blue. I guess borrowed is the Boba Fett armor.
And borrowed is Luke's face.
So,
hey Joe, dreams come true, huh? Fuck you.
That's gonna be a future, man.
Faceless people, remember?
So, what did you think of that face?
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. I actually saw somebody who just used like the deep fake app software, and it looked fucking better.
I actually thought to myself when I was watching it, I was like, whoever this guy is, they should get him to play Luke because he kind of looks like him. You know what I mean? I wasn't like...
I was expecting them... Like, when me and Chris are watching it, like, in real life, like, I don't think they're going to... I know who it is now, obviously, with X-Wing and stuff, but I don't think they're going to take off the hood. Or, like, he's going to be, like, about to take off the hood. It's going to be a fucking season... Like, it's going to be cliffhanger, and I'm going to be pissed. But, like, I was very surprised, and he had dialogue.
So it was a completely...
the voice worked great.
Yes.
I've done a lot of...
The lips did not.
Yeah.
It's something to do with the way the face is flat. The eyes aren't sunk in at all. It very much looks like something from a PS4 game.
Yes. It's like a smooth face.
But like
with
the way they did,
over it.
the way they did like Tarkin. That
I
think it's called Rotocast or something. Like the way they created a model, and for this they just and it probably comes down to how much money you had to spend on it. It might have been it's the last episode.
So that's funny.
Fuck,
you say that.
Let's figure out what we can do here.
I talked to they did a Gord has been heading up like a Patreon kind of exclusive wrap up Mandalorian show with the group chat, like the Force Sensitive, and like I got on that briefly, and I was like, look, the stuff in Rogue One looks better to me, and I know it's not perfect, but to hear you say that is like, oh, well, that's why
it's going to come down to the money.
I mean, it's budget, like a movie budget, it's going to be different. Than a show budget.
Yes, of course, but even that the approach was different.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's a completely different process.
It's a cheaper process.
But like watching it, I was like, whoever this guy is, he even looks more like Hamill than Winter Soldier. They should look. You know what I mean?
Well, I think they're missing. Well, Rosario Dawson was basically fan cast for that role.
Yeah,
and maybe Sebastian's. I mean, look, Disney's already got him.
Yeah.
They've already got him hemmed up. So it may have just been down to a scheduling
and he wants
issue.
to do it.
Does he come out and say he wants to do it?
He hasn't said I want to do a Star Wars show. But he was like, I'd love to play Luke Skywalker, like in casual interviews and stuff.
Yeah. But you know what? That was really cool to see. No matter how
very
strange it seemed.
Something for 99% of the population, not Bobby.
Listen, my dad didn't recognize it.
Yeah. I get it.
But like, I mean, even Krista is like, it's next wing as a Jedi, as Luke. Like,
as soon as the X-Wing,
she's a new fucking fan, and like she knows.
Oh, great!
As soon as the X-Wing showed up, I told Laura, I was like, it's Luke. It's Luke.
So are we assuming? Are we assuming that he saw, he felt the beacon from Grogu, and now his phone?
Big ass beacon, bro.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Do you think Ahsoka? We talked about this, I think, a little at dinner the other night. Does Ahsoka know that Luke is out there, like in the Force, or do you think they have crossed paths at some point.
I think so. I don't know if she knows about him through the Force or that they've crossed paths. However, at this point, I can't imagine a world where Ahsoka wouldn't know the name Luke Skywalker.
Right, because he's Luke Skywalker.
He's a fucking celebrity, you would imagine at this
right,
point.
Exactly. And, going back to like Rebels when they go through the portal and it's all black and white, you'd think that's pretty sparse now compared to the way it was years prior.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I know, like, I'm happy that people got what they needed from Luke.
I mean, I didn't need him to be there. I didn't need him to be in the series at all, but it was a bonus to me. Like, it makes sense that he would take
and I like
Baby
to see him.
Yoda.
I like to see R2, like all those things. Like, it just, like, I don't know. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
When R2 showed up and
I liked it more when R2.
I don't know if it's just me reading into it, but I feel like they know each other. R2 and the baby.
Did we
knows
talk about
each other.
that too? I agree that they have some
because R2's been around forever.
Yeah.
So I feel like
he would have been at the Jedi Academy at some point in time.
So I feel like they would have known each other. Yeah, and that makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
The droids are the glue to the whole thing, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those memory
specifically
banks.
R2.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Here's a random Star Wars question.
Mm-hmm.
After Order 66, what happened to all the lightsabers? Were they directed to collect those, or do just people around the universe have lightsabers?
I think people around the universe has them, and they collect them.
I think that could be an interesting story to
I
tell
agree.
too. Is the saber collector, the collector, or
Yeah.
somebody trying to revive the Jedi ways? And
They tackle that a bit in the Aftermath novels, which aren't very good. But in between the chapters, there's these little like slices of life interludes.
Yeah.
And they show like black market, like people like I've got one for you,
collectors.
Yeah, and they'll be like, look, it's a Royal Guard helmet. It goes on the aftermarket for about such and such, but it's brand new. I'm gonna need double. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like there are people that are like collecting relics of the Empire, and
So, do they have DTOFs?
one can only hope.
Star Wars detox.
Yeah, DTOFs on DTOFs.
Speaking of which, one thing I didn't talk about my Nerd Week, I got my toppers and my DTOF, and my furniture for the basement is officially done.
Yeah, it looks so complete now. Like the fucking billies fit right between those two beams,
Yeah.
and the fucking DTOF there across that DTOF makes that into a room. Like, it like really solidifies the whole look.
And Smeagol makes it look less awkward that there's no topper there.
Yes,
You know,
he like fits perfect. Yeah, everything just fits just right.
Yep, it works.
But yeah, the Luke thing, I'm happy that people are happy about it. I'm upset that I'm not as enthralled with it. I enjoyed it.
Give me an alternative of where Baby Yoda would have gone.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good with him going.
No, I'm saying like if it wasn't Luke, like say like you didn't need Luke, we don't need Luke, we don't want to fucking muddy the waters with old episode people and
No. It's not that. Let me explain what I mean. Is like I'm good with. I like Grogu going to Baby Yoda going to the Jedi Temple
with Luke. Yeah,
I like Kylo saying, "You seem pretty cool, bro. Don't show up for school tomorrow."
Yeah, that's a great meme.
I like all that, but what I didn't need is for Luke to be the savior. I would have
just float like found Luke and just hand it over.
Correct. I would have been much more like I didn't need Luke to come in Jedi sword.
I love it. Did you not like Vader fucking up those Rebels guys on the ship in Rogue One? It's the same. This is just for Luke.
It's not the same.
When he grabs that one and he just shakes the shit out of it and it just crushes
It's
itself.
not the same. And the reason why it's not the same is because there's definitely appeasement going on with this one in a different way than the Vader one.
How so?
Wait,
Because people
SAT,
are upset
hang
that
on.
they never got their satisfaction from Luke in Episode 8 that they thought they wanted or that they did want. They wanted lightsaber swinging badass Luke. There's a portion of
I
that
think you're
that's
reading into it. Because for me, I didn't even
cross my mind.
I didn't
Didn't
throw
cross my
7, 8, or
mind.
9 at all in it. It just
Dude, there's tweets that have gone viral
I
saying,
don't-
finally the Luke
I'm
we
not on
needed.
Twitter.
that me either.
I guarantee you've seen you're
Nope,
too
I have
plugged in.
not seen a damn thing
I have
about
not
it.
seen that. I have.
Take a breath.
I'm only on Instagram.
Let
Take a
me
breath.
see if I can't find this one because
well,
this one I'm not.
but I
I'm
don't
saying
give a
we,
shit.
We haven't seen it.
And I don't care.
But I'm not
And that's
saying.
not
But
what
when
I
I'm
tied
talking
into
about
it.
this, I'm not talking specifically about you. I'm saying for a general Star Wars fan base, if you don't think that they did this in part to make people that wanted to see badass lightsaber swinging Luke that hated The Last Jedi because they didn't see it, I think that you're mistaken.
It's first time it's even crossed my mind is
same,
when you just
same. I've never
didn't even think about it.
Because the first thing I think of was, Vader got his moment because they have shit choreography back in the 70s, and now we got a Luke being badass because we never really saw Luke being a badass.
And technology, to be fair.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We have the ability we can rebuild them.
Yeah, and that's cool.
And to me, that's what it was. It's the same. Luke got his moment like Vader got his moment in Rogue One for me.
Yeah, and I even said that to Laura. I said it's cool that it's mirroring Rogue One.
Yes.
Because I like mirroring
direction.
in Star Wars.
Yep.
But there is some other shit tied up in that one.
I'm glad I'm not tied up into it because like.
And neither am I. But
You're in it.
But
you heated it from it.
From afar, I can just see it. It's the same reason why. It's the same shit they did in Last Jedi. I mean, Rise of Skywalker, where it's like, oh, this is Twitter. This is stuff that's been complained about on Twitter that they're now making a point to fix.
Well, for me, it's more the other way around. For me,
and when I say Twitter, I just mean social media.
Right. For me, it's like that one guy who talked to you and was like, "Oh, women's rights and animal rights," and you're like, "I didn't even see that." For me, it's like this. I didn't even see that part of.
Well, I mean, listen, if we're gonna go down this path, when all the girls get off the elevator. When Kara and the
Sniper
Mandalorians
Lady.
and Sniper Lady get off the elevator, I'm like, oh, woman's power, just like a Marvel movie. I did say that to my wife because there was that moment. That's how the story was told.
There was that moment,
mainly because it was a bunch of girls and
I didn't think about that. Again, I didn't think about that.
I didn't.
It crossed my mind.
I'll say that I didn't. It didn't necessarily hit my mind on that one. But there is a moment in Wonder Woman in the beginning where I was like, "That's interesting."
But Wonder Woman is that though. It's Amazon. It's all the ladies.
Agree, but it wasn't even. It wasn't even so much a sex thing. But it was just something that I noticed. You know, where I was like, "Oh, these are the good and these are the bad, and this is how we're rolling with this," which is fine. But I did notice it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't distracting, but I did notice.
But I mean, I did notice that it didn't bother me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
but you know what you're saying about, and I think part of the reason why in my mind the Luke Skywalker from the original trilogy, I know it's the same person. Don't think it seems so removed. Because by the time we get to him, he's such a broken. His teeth are super long. They're poking through the bottom.
Walrus.
Yeah. He's having to sand them down. The blue milk keeps him back, Bobby. That's what it is.
Probably good for the teeth, though.
That's what it is. He's such a broken person. It's like in my mind, I don't.
They're different people.
Yeah,
I mean, like
exactly.
They are. Like,
the same way we are.
Yeah. Like
sure.
Looking at I beat the shit out of 16-year-old me.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm hoping I'm not super ashamed of the 40-year-old me at 70, you know, or you know whatever. Oh fuck, at 80, I'm just no way. 80. Yeah, but I mean, like, and that's just like I said. I'm happy to be, and I didn't hate seeing it, but my main issue with this is the characters that I'm supposed to care about in this show. If they would have found a way to overcome it, I think that I would have enjoyed it more. And then if they went to like this mystery, this last planet that they were able to find out from some data bank in the fucking whatever, and then they dropped it off and it was Luke that picked the kid up, I think that would have resonated with me better. For not necessarily emotionally better, because I had an emotional reaction to seeing Luke again. I love fucking Star Wars. I love Luke Skywalker. I like seeing him.
Mm-hmm. Seeing Luke with a baby Yoda.
But I think that
carrying Yoda not on his back.
But I think that when they
what if he had the backpack?
Oh my god!
What if he had taken off his robe and it was all sweaty?
Would you have liked it?
I think I would have liked it. But like if when they dropped him off, like by his scruff,
put him in his backpack, dude.
But I think if
missed opportunity,
if they go to this planet and it's like kind of there's some ruins there, and then all of a sudden Luke came out and took the baby from him and they dropped him off, I think that would have been more rewarding, not necessarily emotionally from a Star Wars fan, but rewarding to this show specifically.
Well, they had to tie it. They had to tie two things up. They had to tie up the Darksaber, and they had to get rid of the baby.
I mean, they didn't tie that up.
Well, they tied it up as in everybody who's involved in it is in the same place.
Yeah.
And season 3 is obviously going to be the conflict between Bo-Katan and Din, and who take this, you won't take it. Well, you took it in Rebels, bitch. Take it now.
I concede. Here, take it, motherfucker.
And see, Filoni's involved.
Serious?
Filoni's involved in this shit, so I'm sure
Absolutely.
he has a plan for why that doesn't make sense necessarily.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I have faith that he already has it.
Well,
and Gideon said makes sense though. Like, it's about the story. Someone handing you the fucking Darksaber.
Dude, that was a great line.
Yeah,
it's not about the sword; it's about the story.
Well, and like for her, I think she's mainly a voice because she was a voice actress also.
Yeah.
like I saw it in her face, like as soon as they brought it into her, where she was like, "Fuck."
Because she said, I mean, I've watched it 3 or 4 times. She says, "Gideon is mine."
Yes.
Right.
That's for a reason. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was the reason why. Don't fuck up and give him a
It's
sword.
not a sword. He didn't say, "Give me the sword." He said, "Gideon," specifically.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and real quick, Gideon, you know, I would have preferred him not take the cheap shot at Mandalorian. I understand why it had to happen for plot purposes.
At the end?
When they were in the prison cell together.
Oh, when he said, "Okay,
But I
take the
kind of
kid."
liked him as like this. Look, I got what I need.
Yeah.
You're not worth the trouble. I want a bigger mission. Take you and your ragtag group that nobody gives a fuck about and move on. The Empire has its answer.
Yeah.
Like I would have found that to be almost like more sinister in a way. And like when he took the strike, I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. Which is fine. But
I was good with him trying to kill himself at the end.
Me
'Cause
too.
I
Me too.
didn't know that as
Me
about a
too.
person. I thought he was too vain and too into himself to do that. But no, he is for something.
He's dedicated to the cause.
Yeah, he's dedicated. Like that. What those shuttle pilots? One
Yeah.
of them was not about that life.
Right.
One
Yeah.
of them was.
Well, and then, you know, when they hijacked that big freighter thing,
Yes,
then he killed
yeah.
himself with that biting his magic tooth or whatever.
And Caleb made a good point. I believe it was Caleb anyway. They said that like on the bridge of that of at the end
Of the
that
light cruiser.
kind of the whole Star Wars is represented. Like there's prequel era, clone era, you know, and then sequel era technically, and original trilogy era. They're all represented on that bridge, which is cool.
So it's pretty clear, right, that Baby Yoda makes Snokes.
That's
And like you see the fucked up clones in the thing. It's like, oh well, they can't make him not fucked up. That's why Snoke's fucked up looking.
yeah. It seems like that's where they're headed with it to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
again,
think
bridging
that's-
stuff
that's
is what
bridging it.
new Star Wars, and it works for me.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
The
too.
guy,
have
the
an
guy
issue
even
with
said it. He's like, they're gonna have a new order, which is like first order.
That's what everybody wants.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
And I like that Luke. I know you wanted him to hand off differently, but like.
Not that I wanted,
it
just
says
if I'm thinking
something
about it.
Right, it just says something that like Luke is actively going around and collecting people, and you're not dropping a baby off at the fire station.
Right.
Like he's coming to look for you. He wants you.
But at the
Well-
same time, we talk about parallels. What was Palpatine doing during the Clone Wars? He was collecting Force sensitives as well.
Yep.
So that's an interesting balance there.
But it's also like, I mean, he's answering a call too.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
so I think I agree that he's probably going out and
You think
around.
he has a pager?
I mean, how did
And
he
it
had
says,
a whole,
it says
he had a whole school.
911.
Make sure you put 911 if it's really important, or I'm probably
I
going
used
to call you back when I
fucking
get
hate
to
when
it.
people put 911 and be for nothing. Like, I remember running out of a movie theater one time, ironically, and going to a payphone and dropping in the quarter to call Laura. Like, what's going on? What are you up to? Don't ask me what the fuck I'm up to.
Don't send me a
You said
911.
911. But
Yeah, pagers.
He collected enough of them out of a school.
So he's well. That's an assumption. I agree with you. That is probably the right assumption.
A school has got to be at least 3 kids. To me,
No. Not that he doesn't have a school, but we don't know if people are coming to him or if he's going out and seeking people.
I don't know why that's so funny that you just randomly go, this guy's school's got 3 people.
It's my
I don't
house.
know if
Our house.
that's what I feel like.
Wait,
if it's 2, it's not enough. 3 is a crowd. Right? The crowd is a school.
Well, I guess I don't have a school in my house.
Because
I've only
like
got
2
in
kids, you're
school.
just a tutor. You're just a fucking overzealous tutor.
But I think that it could also be that people are going to him.
Yeah, I think it's both. Right?
So in this, he's answering a call. It's not like he's out there actively seeking. I think that you're probably right in assuming that he's out there seeking, but he is answering a call specifically. Somebody is asking for him, and he is coming to respond.
What if
And,
it's-
you think they had at least somewhat of a conversation? That's why it took so long. Do you think
I like that idea.
that it wasn't just like, well, I feel it's
Hit him
not
with the-
like the bat signal, right?
Do you think you hit him with the WYD? What are you doing?
He said, "What up, dog? You want to learn some shit? Cool. All right, bet.
Oh, Jedi stuff.
Give me 5."
I mean, I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I
And
listen.
like I said, I want to buy stuff now.
I'm
That's
just
the problem.
I'm excited. I think about the time when we didn't have Star Wars media. Like, I mean, we had. I mean, I got super into Star Wars, like super heavy. Like, it was before I met any of you guys. I was reading books. I kind of discovered the books. I was reading a lot of the books and stuff like that. I was buying the Star Wars magazine every month.
Insider?
Insider.
No, I had a few insiders.
Well, the first one, it's because it changed.
had a subscription.
It seemed so expensive. It was like
I know it was expensive.
but it changed at some point. It went from the American publisher to the UK publisher took over everything, and it changed. I didn't like it, anyways. But it was like, well, there's nothing. There was no movies. There's nothing. Then Clone Wars, cartoon, and then that was so cool to get that, and now it's just like drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah.
Star Wars, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
We have a ton of news, but we're already at 2.5 hours.
But do we really have a ton of news though?
All right, well, let's go, try to move through it as quickly as possible. Some of it anyway. Ashes to Ashes, the Star Trek. Did you hear about this?
Yes, no. I read that.
The ashes of Star Trek's James Doohan were smuggled onto the International Space Station.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they laminated a picture of him and put some ashes in it, and it's been up there for years apparently.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's fucking awesome.
That's a great story.
That's really cool.
That's a Christmas miracle.
Festivus miracle.
Yes.
Chris, we lost a wrestler.
Yeah. He went by Brody Lee in AEW most recently, and he was Luke Harper in WWE. His wife said it was a lung issue, non-COVID related lung issue. It's very odd the way it was worded, but I mean, he wrestled.
Maybe got pneumonia.
He'd been off wrestling. Apparently, he had a knee problem. He was nursing that, and I don't know.
Knee
Knee. Yes.
Okay. I was a need problem. I'm like, dude, I got a few need problems.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I mean, it's out of left field, man. It's
a bummer.
He seemed like
he's young.
Yeah, he's 41. I mean, those guys live hard. They really do. But he seemed like one of the good ones, man. I don't think these guys are out. They do drug testing and stuff else. So they're not out. They're not cocaine and drinking. A 24-pack of beer every night like some of the old timers did. But nobody had a bad word to say about it. I'd listened to him on a couple podcasts, and he just seemed like a really good guy. It sucks for him and his family, obviously, and everybody that really knew him. So.
Yeah, for sure. Thoughts and prayers to his family. Ecstasy from Houdini died as well. I don't know if you guys listened to Houdini at all as kids.
I'm familiar that the group exists, but past that,
I'm not even familiar with the
Friends.
How many of us have them?
How many of us have them?
Okay. Did they also have White Lines? Was that theirs? Was that Houdini?
I don't think that's them. I think that was before them.
Okay.
But they had one love. You're lucky just to have just one love.
You've definitely heard samples of their shit over the years.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Nas, If I Want to Rule the World is a sample from Houdini.
Oh, wow, okay.
Freaks Come Out at Night is another one. Anyway, he passed away too, so rest in peace to Ecstasy. I don't know his real name.
I knew some guys that used Freaks Come Out at Night as their wrestling music.
No shit.
They were the Freak Show.
Oh, I like it. Not lost on me. Kentucky Fried Gaming. You guys see this
the KF console?
I like that shit too.
I saw that. It's a complete it apparently really is going to exist.
Yeah,
but
it's in Forbes.
It's complete nonsense.
KFC is doing great with this new meme genre.
They don't know what to do about that Popeye's chicken sandwich. But it's got them all like, fuck, let's get into gaming.
Their memes has been great. The fucking, they have
their social media presence, I agree.
They've had the KFC dating sim, fucking just great, where you can fucking date the colonel.
They got super deep in, they had 3 or 4 wrestlers playing him. They did a whole thing. They recorded
movies, the Mario Lopez movie.
They did the Mario Lopez movies. They recorded some wrestling where he I think it was the Miz or Dolph Ziggler, one of the two was doing the colonel in the outfit and was wrestling.
No,
so they've got a good presence there, so I don't understand
like KFC,
who will ever want to buy this thing.
Well, the fucking meme of it, we will. It depends on how much it costs.
So that's my question. In today's era with the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo dominated landscape, can a new console company that's doing the same thing, so not like a VR thing, come out and really compete?
I mean, we said that when Xbox came out.
But Bobby, then
Xbox 2 came out.
But it also warms your chicken. It does.
It does.
It's got a compartment to warm chicken in it.
It's a fucking meme. I'm telling you, it's fucking great.
It is. I mean,
it's fucking great.
And it's just like it's like a gaming computer. It's not like some breaking.
Right.
Nobody's developing games for this. It's gonna put. Yeah.
people will start doing it as a joke, and then it might take off.
Well, you do know Farming Simulator is a huge game people play
Oh
online.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So what about
this series? They have all those different I watch it. They have all those different tractors and
Chicken Coop Simulator?
there's everything simulator.
They'll have-
Firefighting series.
You can decide whether or not your genetic manipulation, whether it's going to have a beak or not.
Yeah.
You know, the big rumor is they breed chickens with no beaks.
Did you ever watch what was it? It was like a crank call show.
Crank Yankers?
Crank Yankers.
Oh, a million years ago.
Do you remember there was this one where they called KFC and they were complaining because all they got was a bucket of beaks?
Yes.
Oh my God.
like, sir, we don't have beaks. It's just beaks and claws. I got chicken claws and beaks here.
Grandma would love it. My real grandma.
So, Cyberpunked? I was
2077.
hoping that you would have some information on this for us.
People are.
Tell the story.
I mean, I don't have it for a reason. Not that I'm not gonna get it.
The game.
The game. It's been delayed and pushed back, and people
This is what you were talking about.
kept fucking wanting to release it now, so they fucking rushed it out the door. It's not as buggy. It's not fucking ready. I knew that. That's why I didn't pre-order it. I'm like, I'm gonna wait. Most new games nowadays, I'm gonna wait at least a few months. The price will come down a little bit. They would have patched it. DLCs would have come out.
It'll take you 48 hours to download all the patches.
Yeah, or like wait a year for the Goldie edition, which has all the DLCs included.
Yeah.
Some people they were too goddamn hyped, right? They couldn't have been satisfied. People are complaining that it's not delivering. I'm like, you hyped yourself up to a goddamn frenzy.
Do they collect Transformers, these people you speak of?
Probably. but the people who likes it are the ones who didn't fucking hype themselves up. Like, because not everyone hates it, right? There's a loud group of people who's hating on it. Like I said, I didn't play the game, but I'm also not expecting it to be perfect, so I'm not playing it yet. So it might be shit, but not everyone is saying it's shit.
Oh,
A lot of people are good with it.
Something I had read was that they had originally developed it for the PS4 and whatever the Xbox of that same genre is, and by the time they were ready to put it out, I was like, well, we can put it out on these new consoles.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, if you have like a base model PS4, it can't play it. It's so glitchy. But if you have like the Pro or whatever, the last one they did, that one actually plays it.
Yeah. There are games
So,
like that. Even in the last gen, between 3 and PS3 and PS4.
Your machine just, it's like trying to drag.
It's not the same machine.
It's trying to drag race that 86 Honda I was talking about earlier.
I mean, that's why I'm not
Which
getting a
people do
PS5.
that,
People are fucking paying double the price on the internet for
That's
a goddamn
ridiculous.
PS5 when in a year it's going to be cheaper originally and on
And
Christmas
better.
sale, and it's going to be the second fucking generation. Like, I don't know. People... I think it takes a certain mentality of people that wants the newest and shiniest
Well,
things.
I mean, I will never buy if they change the model, body style complete of a vehicle, like, I will never buy that year car.
Yeah.
For that very reason. Because give them a year to get the fucking bugs worked
My
out.
phone is never new. It's always one generation behind.
I guess I'm right
for
there with
technology.
you, yeah.
Like,
But you still don't feel that way about the vaccine, right?
It's different.
I know. I just want to make sure
Yeah,
because I'm getting it. I want
Yeah.
to make sure you're still on.
Yeah, no.
I want Joe on my team. If Joe's not on my team, I'm backing out.
No, it's different. Well, first of all, we're talking about health. We're not talking about luxury here, right?
Right.
We're talking about fucking a pandemic.
Right.
But yeah,
Unprecedented.
Literally,
Invisible enemy.
he got unprecedented.
You got one off, Tyler.
But it's people. It's not even like I said. It's a mentality. It's not even people really want or need a PS5. It's they are fucking like birds. They want the newest, shiniest things, and they want to say they have it, even though they paid $800 for a $400 machine.
But you don't think it? I mean, and I'm sure that's wrapped up in it too. But like, I'm not a huge gamer, right? You may have heard this, but like, I feel like if it was my thing, like I would just want it because I just love it so much that I just want to play the next.
And there's a ton of people that are like that.
And if that is the thing, you would have a $3,000 gaming computer.
Oh, okay.
But the console people don't want.
I feel like they're different.
That's on their mentality.
No,
I'm a console person too. I prefer PS, but like if you're a really gamer, if you're that serious to pay $800 for a $400 machine, you might as well go ahead and pay the $3,000 for a machine that's going to last you years and that's going to perform better than your $400 machine anyway.
Right. Right.
All right.
That's a big. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
And it's not a PC Master Race thing. Like that's a joke, but like it is.
Tasty taint.
Tight deck player.
It is a term. Very old term.
Right.
But like you can plug in your Xbox or PS controller into a computer and use that and play like a fucking regular game. You can have your fucking desktop plugged into your TV using your PS4 controller.
Right.
So that there's no fucking
excuse
for it other than a mental thing.
I have two things I need to interject for that your speech made me think of. One, not the mass race part, just to clear, but one.
I'm disappointed now.
No. One was talking about Transformers for just a second. I'm pretty sure DX9 wrote me after my video on Saturday.
I mean, I watched it. You're like, well, now it's clear. If a new third party comes along and it looks like it and it smells like it, tastes like it,
and they said thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was kind of like slightly moved by it. Like, I'm AS40. I'm getting very emotional at this drop of a hat to Chris. But, like, I just...
it happens.
but I was like, man, like, how about that?
Something.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere.
And then there was another thing that you said.
That's really good. You should print it out and frame it.
It was very short. I don't think English is their first language. Oh, Tight Dick Player. Somebody wrote, forgive me, I can't remember who, because it was busy time and lots of DMs, but like they said
so important.
Hey, stop it. They said hey, I'm watching Eastbound and Down. I was like ... Is that where Tight Dick Player comes from? I was like, yes.
I guess it must be a newer listener because you've talked about it.
I have told it before, but like it's just nice that like one of those references that's pretty obscure.
Yeah.
Someone finally picked up and came to me with it instead of me having to say what it's from. But yeah, for any new listeners, it's from I think the intro to the second season of Eastbound and Down. Next bit of news is I think it's all trailers from here on out. I could be wrong.
It's a Mortal Kombat one, right?
So yes, like we can start there. What do you think about that?
I don't watch it.
It doesn't look good.
It's on HBO. Like when I saw it was HBO Max, I immediately was like, oh. Well, so I'll find it when I find it.
So my thing is, I was excited because HBO makes good shows throughout history. Like,
is it a show?
I think it's a movie.
It is a movie. It is a movie, but HBO makes good shows. So this is a different format.
Well, hang on. You got to put an asterisk on that now, Bobby, because HBO Max is Warner Brothers shoving 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. All these movies that are coming out this year. Don't put HBO. HBO's probably like, don't put our name on that shit.
That's fair.
I don't want the Tom and Jerry movie. We ain't got shit to do with the Tom and Jerry
and
movie.
Actually, as you say that, you're probably right, and I'm probably wrong in my excitement.
Write this down, Joe.
Oh, shit. Clip it. Somebody
write it down.
It's not fair. I talk about how much I'm wrong all the time.
2 minutes, 2 hours, 39 minutes, 20
hasn't been that
seconds.
long?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll even start with saying, look, I already know I'm wrong, but I'm going to say this.
Fucking with you, Bob.
But I want to say that, like, KFC.
Not mine style. I want KFC. Shit.
But like I saw the HBO Max thing and I got excited. But I think Warner Brothers follows right behind it, and you're probably right. It's New Line follows right behind it. So there it is.
New Line did the original Mortal Kombat movie, didn't they?
Yes, and New Line's a Time Warner company, so that's what it is. And you're right. Like there's no hope for this. Anyway, I knew there was no hope after seeing the fucking trailer, but I was excited at first.
I didn't watch trailer.
Me too. I was excited
I
at
don't give a
first.
shit.
But like some franchises aren't meant to be movies or even shows. Like the premise of Mortal Kombat, I don't think can be a fucking long-standing thing or a movie. That doesn't fucking make sense.
So I think
you can't fucking make it cohesive or like I don't know.
I think you can, but I think the overhaul it would need would be substantial.
You need to change the fucking premise altogether.
Not the premise of the world, but the premise of the game. Let me explain what I mean.
How do you have any kind of character development when you have an ensemble cast that kills each other permanently?
So you tell the story of like Katana, for instance, as a princess on this world and coming up under this regime. And I'm just off the cuff. I haven't thought about this.
Someone's taking notes right now at Warner Brothers.
They're
gonna write you a little thank you note.
Email.
Yep.
I just get that frame right next to the DX9 one. And you tell the story about Outworld and how Outworld's power shifts from Shao Kahn to whoever was there before it and whatever, and then you start introducing this idea of the tournament. But the first season becomes just pretty much about Katana and Katana's character. And then
she's hot enough to like fucking hold interest without Sub-Zero.
That too. Yeah. That doesn't hurt.
Because otherwise, everyone just want to see the ninjas.
And then you take a second. Well, see that I agree with you, but it's the gift and the curse. So because that's where there's no story unless you told that story.
Because there is a story there, but it can't be told in that format where they kill each other.
So that's my point. That's my point, is that you could do like a show and do seasons, and each season would be about like a character, because that's the world of Mortal Kombat.
And just not the tournament
but
itself.
not the tournament.
That's
not
the problem.
the game.
Yeah, so like it's hard.
It's kind of like what those fans did.
The fan shorts are amazing.
Exactly.
I love
So if
them.
you took those fan shorts and you extrapolated them into something big,
everyone thought that's what's going to happen, but it fucking
right? It's back to tournament style. Yeah, no, I agree.
no,
I agree.
it fucking it's just the idea died. Like I like the actors. Fucking Spawn was
Yeah, Michael Jai White. I think.
yeah. It was Jax. And
That's the
then
guy that
and then just looked great and like yeah.
Have I ever told you my conspiracy theory on Michael Jai White getting killed in Dark Knight?
No,
So
maybe you did, but I don't remember it.
I know I'm wrong, but this is my conspiracy theory. Todd McFarlane used to draw Batman comics. Mm-hmm. He goes out and does Spawn. Spawn is definitely an independent, original character. However, there is some Batman sauce in there.
Oh yeah, with the perching on the roof and the cape and
Correct. Gothic-y and all that kind of stuff. Todd McFarlane loses his shit in an interview that is a big interview at the time.
Which one doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure. And says that Spawn is the more logical character than Batman. I don't even think Batman dates girls. Is the
Fair.
is the Todd McFarlane bit. Michael Jai White plays Spawn. Mm-hmm. They hire him in Dark Knight to get killed by Joker. That's my conspiracy theory deep dive.
That's fucking.
That
would be amazing.
Joker.
I mean that's.
Joker kills Spawn.
You've thought about this way too
Yeah,
much.
you had a lot of time.
This is my problem.
This
is why I don't need entertainment, because this is where my head goes.
That's what happens when there's not new Star Wars to keep you aggravated. You deep dive on other shit.
All right, and the next one, Coming Back to America, coming to America. I got it.
What do you think?
So I know it's not going to be good, but yet I'm super excited about it, and it looks fun.
It's part of the member berries, like just like Bill and Ted and Karate Kid, and it's just all of that.
But I'm not necessarily like I didn't even think that Bill and Ted looked like it was going to be fun necessarily. Just seeing the trailer, but like this, I'm like, man, like I don't know. It feels like, and something else seeing James Earl Jones on his deathbed in the trailer, I was like, oh bro,
Yeah.
Thinking about that made me sad.
I mean, Arsenio's happy to get some work. Yeah. I ain't seen him do shit in a long time. Unless he's doing some voice acting or,
Wesley Snipes
glove
is in
measurement.
It?
Yeah.
It's
Wesley's getting some work, thank God, and paid him taxes. Ooh. Do you think, now, I know I mentioned this on here. It seems like if you're new to Netflix, you do Comedians in Cars, right? So Eddie Murphy was on there, and I said, we're going to get a lot of Eddie Murphy. And we've gotten, I think, two original things.
That movie was awesome.
And then he's doing that. Do you think maybe like Beverly Hills Cop, they'll try to pull that?
I think that's feasible. Is
there anything else of his that?
I'll tell you what I probably could go for, even though I know it would be a train wreck. I know I'd be wrong, Chris. 48 Hours.
Oh, boy.
With Nick Nolte just off his fucking rocker.
I think it would probably be Eddie Murphy pushing Nick Nolte around in a wheelchair.
I'm good with that, too. But yeah, I'm going to watch it. I don't have high hopes, but it does look like it's going to be a fun romp. That's not a trailer. This is a trailer. The Crocodile Dundee trailer.
And more.
Sorry to our Australian audience for that hack job.
Or you're welcome. This is going to be fucking terrible. But I'm probably going to watch it.
But, like, you can watch terrible things knowing it's terrible for terrible sake.
That's true.
Did they do two of those back in the day?
They did.
They did, yeah.
I don't know if I've ever even seen the second one.
The second one, he goes to the big city. You see, she was the fish out of the water.
That's right.
But like, yeah. But he goes to the city in the first
Has
one.
this been have we? It seems like this has been in production for years.
Yeah, because
like we've talked. Is it its
on
daughter
the
or
Grammys or something?
I don't know.
There was remember two memorable scenes I have of the first one is
this is Crocodile Dundee for everybody who's lost on what we're talking about.
Yeah, it might even be three. So is there a scene where like she's being like peeping tomed, like she's like changing and somebody's looking at her through a. That's in my head for some reason. I'm not even sure if that's in that movie. I might just be associating Sharon Stone with Peeping Tom because of Basic Instinct. And then the second one
that's Sharon Stone?
Yeah, I think so. In the first Crocodile Dundee? I think
I can't remember. I haven't even watched that shit since it came out.
Oh, God. I hope I'm not wrong about that. I'll feel like a ripe idiot.
I don't think it is.
Oh, you already said you're wrong. It's fine.
It is Monday.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crocodile Dundee cast. But the other scene that I think about is, of course, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Sure.
And then the third one is when he's at that party and this guy is doing rails of coke. And he's like, oh, that won't help you. This is an old Australian, I'm getting into now, old Australian secret. And takes the coke and puts it in a pot and boils it and puts the guy's head over it with like a little rag over top to like
steams it.
Because he like thinks it's medicine. Nope, it sure isn't. Sue Charlton. Damn, in my head she was Sharon Stone. God,
That's how you know memories don't
I'm
fucking
a fucking moron.
Speaking of women that were in movies in the 80s, there's a new Top Gun movie coming out.
Yes.
Oh, another one of the 80s.
They did not
movie.
approach Kelly McGillis about it.
She does not.
Have you
she
seen?
does not hold up. She does not hold up.
She looks like a 60-year-old woman. I mean, Tom Cruise is a 60-year-old man who's.
But
who
she
knows
looks
how
like a
much-
60-year-old
Well,
woman.
he's also blessed by the
Xenu.
Xena.
But she also looks like a 60-year-old woman who hasn't been taking care of herself.
Right. On the Tom Cruise bit, we didn't get. Did you hear his rant?
He has another rant?
No, the COVID rant. You didn't hear this?
No.
He went bananas.
When?
They're filming Mission Impossible 26 or whatever they're on now.
Are they really?
This
Another one?
it just happened. They're filming it in England right now, and these two guys were breaking protocol, and he destroys them. Like, we're making jobs for you, and you can't follow the fucking rules. If I see that again, you're fucking gone. I can't believe you guys didn't hear that.
No, and what's
It was just it's the last couple weeks.
usually he throws the laws of sciences out the window. So that's I find even. Oh, but maybe it's. Now he really wants to be a Scientologist. He wants to be a Scientologist.
That's what it is.
And then the last one was the Hawkeye TV trailer. Did you watch that at all?
I didn't. I saw the clip. It looks like the young lady that's going to be playing. Is it the same girl that was in the movie?
I don't know, but she's playing Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
It looks. I'm in for it. I watch it. It looks very TV to me.
I mean, maybe they'll take some aspects of the really great comic series that
Hopefully.
was such.
But it seems to be
trip.
centered much more around her.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: like, it got me thinking because I was comparing it to the other ones, right? Mandalorian and WandaVision, right? And I was like, why does this look more TV than the others? And I was like, oh, because this one's real.
Yeah.
Like WandaVision's just obviously sets meant to look like sets. So it's easy to make that look like it's supposed to look like a set. And then the Mandalorian is using IMAX screens or whatever the fuck. They're down at the Science Center. So this one is like the first one that's like a real life based thing aside from Falcon Winter Soldier, but which you haven't seen a lot of either. And I feel like this one is showing its budget, at least in the trailer, more than the others.
Because it's a regular ass place.
Yeah.
Well, that may have been. Hey, there aren't gonna be any special effects in this. Here's your budget.
Yeah.
Make what you can. I can see that being the path.
Yeah. That's it. So we're able to get to the notes. Longer show, but as we took last week off.
No questions.
No questions.
Wow.
People busy on the holidays.
Oh, busy times.
Busy people. I was gonna say the next week we'll try to do our best things of the year. So get to thinking about that. Even if you haven't got any, you're like, I didn't listen to anything new, then that's fine. But usually best book, music, movie, show.
Just put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the categories.
I was gonna do it this week.
Well, I kind of had a couple things locked and loaded because I thought you might drop it on us when we get here, and I'd been thanks, Bobby.
Yeah, but I didn't want to drop it, and since we didn't have the week, so the next week should
And
be
we had
fine.
3 hours already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Cool Table, Shadowcast Uncut, Enter the Realm, Stasis Lock, Building Up to a Fresh Communication, Breaking the Mold, Verbally Challenged. Shout out to the rest of the Nerd Race team. I'm keeping my eyes on the board here. That Raul on Instagram and Dante on Facebook and Phil, and thank you, Phil, for the gift. That was very thoughtful of you. And he just happened to be in the area and just lucked out. And then shout out to Andy and Tyler and Gort. Yes. And Esteban, all the folks that help out with the Force Sensitive. And look, I did want to say this one thing. I have a Patreon show coming with a podcast with just Andy, who's been helping me with Force Friday, talking about the Force Friday life.
Behind the scenes?
Yeah, behind the scenes and kind of like how how it got started and everything and what we think about it in the body of work. because I started, this is it in a nutshell basically, but like I started doing that content and bringing Star Wars reviews back to my channel because it was so in the shitter in the bracket that we're in. And I wanted to put some positivity back into it. And then now the tables have kind of reversed and it's kind of back in that bracket's good graces. So like I don't know if Force Friday is going to continue through the year. There's a couple other things that we have kicking around idea-wise that we want to get out, but it may go away, or at least go away in the sense of being a weekly thing. It may be like, look, if I got something to say, I'll say it.
There you go.
And otherwise, I'm going to let it ride. Because like the kind of the war's been won, you know? So like, so that, and I think that's it. Any closing thoughts? Ready for 2021? We get into a 2021 year next year.
I will say something. I did see someone's. I guess it was like a Christmas card. It said goodbye 2020, and then it said hell 2021. Then I just realized I was covering with the O. It actually said hello, but I'm like, oh well. I will say this, and I'm being as positive as I can. I'm looking forward to 2022.
Yeah.
Just truth be told.
And also, it's just a fucking number. Like,
it
the
is.
day rolling over has nothing to do with the time period.
It doesn't.
But some people have that in their mind. They're like, oh, it's going to be a new year. No, bro, that's just your calendar saying it's
But
a new
if
year.
people can use it as a mental note to switch, like if they're having, you know what I mean, if they're going through something and they want to make a change, and they can use it as a tool.
I just don't
change.
Dude, you just get
Once
it.
in my life.
I don't want the entire year to be fucked up if the first 3 months isn't good yet. They'd be, 2021 is fucked. I'm like, well, it's June now. It's pretty okay.
The other thing that annoys me on that same foot is when people are like, oh, 2020 is taking all the actors I love. I'm like, yeah, all the actors that you loved when you were 5 and they were 30 and now you're 40 and they're fucking 70. Yeah, it's 2020's
also been
fault.
Dying in 19 and 18 and 17 and 16.
I'm like, David Bowie was making music like before your parents were born. Yeah, he's not going to last forever. And I love David Bowie, so.
Yep.
And on that positive note, flappy labius.
Tasty taint.
Tight Dick Player.